Your Honor, this is case number 276 on the calendar in the matter of Burek versus Adams.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated.
Ms. Burek, you were employed for a period of time as a nanny for the defendant's child. One child?
One child.
And it is your claim that you had a contract. It was an oral contract, and that contract provided that you would give them 30 days' notice of your intention to leave, and they would give you 30 days' notice of their intention to terminate your services. There came a time when you were away on some sort of a vacation, and you claimed that Miss Adams unceremoniously fired you without giving you the requisite 30-day notice. Correct. In addition, you claim that they owe you the plane ticket, because if you had not been terminated so abruptly, you would have had a plane ticket to come home from vacation. So that's your case. Ms. Adams says that there was certainly a contract, an oral contract, that provided that you would give them 30-day notice of your intention to leave, but there was no commensurate 30-day provision with regard to them, that they could fire you at will at any time. That's your defense.
Correct.
When did you begin your employment with the Adams family?
I started working for them February 14th of 2005.
How did you find Miss Burek, Miss Adams?
Through a nanny agency.
What was the name of the agency?
I actually don't recall the agency.
It was Elite Domestic Agency.
Could you keep your voice up, please? Hear my voice? Ah! Keep your voice
Elite
up so I can
Domestic
hear
Agency.
you. What?
Elite Domestic Agency.
February 14th, 2005. And you worked until when, Miss Burek?
Last day I worked was August 11th of 2006. Total of 18 months.
Miss Adams, you have a little boy or a little girl?
Little boy.
How old is he?
He's 2.5 years old.
So he was a little less than a year old.
He was
when Miss Burek came.
Correct.
And she took good care of him?
Yes.
Do you work?
Yes, I do.
What kind of work do you do?
My husband and I own a design firm at the Pacific Design Center.
So you really relied on her to be the sole custodian of your son while you were at work?
Absolutely.
And this is your only child?
Yes.
Tell me why you fired her.
There were many incidents that led up to the termination. It was definitely a culmination of incidents. The last incident was Danielle going on vacation.
When did she go on vacation?
She went on vacation. The dates changed. So at first she wanted to take off August 11th, 14th, and 15th. On the day of the 10th, she requested to take off the 14th, 15th, and 16th. And that was a pattern with her. She was very notorious for always leaving and not coming back the day she was supposed to come back. So that was not surprising to me that she requested those 3 days. I had to reschedule my meetings, and I said that was fine. The day she was leaving, I said, please, please come back on the 17th. I need you back to work.
Now, the 17th was what day of the week?
Thursday. I said, I have meetings at work. I really need you to be back. And she hugged me and she said, I will be back. In my mind, I thought, I'm sure something is going to come up, whether it's the plane, was delayed, there was something happened, something was going to come up. And indeed, on Tuesday, I got an email saying that she wanted to take Thursday and Friday off and that she would be back to work on Monday. I sent an email saying, and I spoke to my husband and I said, I cannot believe this, but at the same time I could. And I said, I really need you back to work on Thursday. Please come back to work. And she basically then sent me an email saying that she had another person that could come in and fill in for her.
Who did she have to fill in for her?
A friend.
A friend
who is also a
name
nanny.
I
believe her name is Simone.
Had you ever met her?
I met her once. So I was not comfortable with...
Do you know who she works for?
I do not know the mother. So I really don't know anything about her.
Okay.
And so she said that she wanted to have her fill in. And I said, no, that's not going to work for me. I don't know who she is. I don't feel comfortable having her watch my son without me there at the house. And she sent me an email saying she's very trustworthy and she's my friend. And I said, this is not personal. I don't know who she is. No. And I basically said, again, I needed you back to work on Thursday. So when that avenue closed, she then said, oh, by the way, I didn't get my paycheck on Friday, the Friday prior. And the reason she couldn't come to work was because she didn't have a plane ticket to come back to work. So, just everything going up in the air now. What was the lie? Was the lie that there was an annual event in Santa Fe that prevented her to coming back to work?
I'll find out in a minute.
Okay. There was no lie.
Just to say, I'll find out in a minute.
Sure.
She wanted the extra 2 days because the extra 2 days meant the extra 2 days plus a weekend. Where was the boyfriend?
The fiance was in New Mexico.
With you?
Correct. And
Is
his
that where
daughter.
he lives?
No, he was out in New Mexico for work with his daughter.
Did you travel out there together with him?
No. They drove together separate earlier, and I flew on my own.
When were they coming back?
They were coming back on the following Monday.
So you were going to be flying home alone, according to you, on Sunday.
Well, I was going to fly back Wednesday night to be back to work for Thursday and Friday.
Yes.
And and I didn't receive my paycheck for my last 2 weeks of pay, and I kept asking Lisa why I wasn't getting the paycheck and she wasn't addressing it. And I didn't have the funds in my account to purchase a ticket back to work.
How did you purchase the ticket, Miss Burek, to go out there?
I had money in my account.
Well, I want to know how exactly you did that. Did you pay for that ticket in cash? Did you pay for that ticket with a credit card? How did you pay for that ticket? I'm sure you can document it for me.
I paid for my ticket online.
Online with what?
With my debit card.
You have a record of that?
I don't. I have a record of flying back, but I don't have a record of that, no.
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
You know, Miss Burek, when you lie about one thing, your entire testimony becomes suspect, madam. The reason I asked to see this is because I didn't believe that the reason you didn't buy a return ticket was because you didn't have money in your account. And I didn't believe you when you said to me that I paid for it with a debit card because you're trying to think too hard. Now, it doesn't make sense for you to pay for one ticket going one way with a debit card and the other way with your MasterCard, which is how you paid for this ticket. So it didn't make any difference whether you had the paycheck in your account or not. You could have purchased a round-trip ticket at the same time you purchased a ticket going. You could have purchased it coming back. Because you didn't use a debit card, you used MasterCard.
Well, the reason why I didn't book the flight back was because I didn't have enough money in my account on
You told me
Thursday
that
night.
before. I didn't believe it when you told me for the first time. And now that you hand this thing to me, it clearly says that this ticket was purchased with a MasterCard, which doesn't require that you have the money in the bank at the time of the purchase. You just have to pay it when you get the bill. You follow me?
I follow you.
Good. So that's not why you didn't buy your ticket, because you didn't have money in the bank. So the story that you just told me about not buying the ticket on Wednesday is really not true.
Well, it is true.
No, it isn't. Then explain to me why it was purchased on MasterCard.
Because my fiancé offered to pay for my ticket.
He should have offered to pay for your ticket on Wednesday when you were due home.
Well, I didn't feel comfortable asking him.
I understand why you fired her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
That requires a yes or a no answer.
They didn't pay me, yes. I would equally
That's
say.
not my question, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is my ballpark. Okay, my playground.
And later today,
If she felt that she needed the money before, she should have called the travel agent herself.
She could have done this and she would have done that. And if she did this, she wouldn't have been in that chair. She had an agreement with you.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Nanny Danielle Burek claims former employer Lisa Adams terminated her without cause. Lisa says Danielle was unreliable.
Now you want me to believe that you had a contract with Miss Adams. Part of the contract was that if she was going to terminate you without cause, she would give you 30 days' notice. Because, Miss Burek, you cannot expect someone who has entrusted their most precious possession, their child, with you, if you do something that's wrong to the child, let's say she finds you hitting the child, you think she's required to give you 30 days' notice and pay you?
No, but that never
No.
happened.
No, the answer is no. You think that if she catches you doing drugs in the house, she's got to give you 30 days' notice and pay you? The answer would be, of course, no, right? Well, what Miss Adams is saying is she found you to be dishonest, that you were giving her dishonest answers for what your intentions were when you went on this vacation, that you had an intention to follow a course of conduct which was coming back late and being irresponsible. So while it's true that you didn't, as far as she knows, abuse her child or neglect her child, it is a short leap from being dishonest with regard to one thing to another. And what she's saying is she fired you for cause. And the cause was you were due back on Wednesday, and you didn't come back on Wednesday. We're going to come back the following Monday. That's unsatisfactory. You have a responsibility. Is this your fiancé?
Yes.
What kind of work does he do?
He's an artist. He's a photographer and a writer and a producer.
Does he have any full-time gainful employment?
Yes.
At what?
He's an actor.
Well, does he act in something regularly?
Yes.
What?
A show on ABC.
What show on ABC?
Wildfire.
He has a recurring role? I'm sorry, I haven't seen it.
Yes, he does.
Step up. Your last name is?
Haynes, Your Honor.
Mr. Haynes,
Yes, ma'am.
how often do you film Wildfire?
About once every 2 to 3 weeks.
And
They're building the roll-up.
how many days a week do you film, sir?
It can be anywhere from 3 to 5.
Sounds wonderful to me, sir.
Yes.
Did you ever call your producer and say to your producer, I'm in Santa Fe. I can't make it on Friday. I just answer my question. I'm in Santa Fe. I can't make it on Friday.
Well, Your Honor,
No. I'm just asking you a question, sir, that requires a yes or a no answer.
if they didn't pay me, yes, I would equally
That's
say.
not my question, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe
this is
it
my ballpark.
Yes, it is.
Okay, my playground. Did you ever call your producer and say to your producer, I can't get to Santa Fe on Friday. I'll come on Monday. Or have you always shown up when you're supposed to, on time?
I always show up when I'm supposed to.
Thank you. You can sit down now. You ought to teach your fiancé the same thing. You were fired, Miss Burak, for cause. The cause was that you acted irresponsibly. And if she fired you for cause, even if she had an agreement to give you notice without cause, for cause, she doesn't have to give you any notice, because that would be ridiculous. If you were abusing her child, she wasn't going to give you 30 days notice. If you were neglecting her child, she wasn't going to give you 30 days notice. And she found out that you were irresponsible. And this wasn't evidently a one-shot deal. This had happened before. Something that happens with nannies, by the way, because Miss Burak doesn't want to spend the next 30 years being a nanny. What I'm trying to tell you is Miss Burak is trying to find her way and figure out what she wants to do with her life, right? I know very, very few people who want to be Mrs. Doubtfire, that's their role in life. Do you understand?
Yes.
So if she blows you off for a day or two, most nannies feel as if they've got you right here because they're in charge of your children. You have no case, Miss Burak. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
While we do feel like Danielle did a good job with her child,
Well, I was very attached. I'm very close to Kai.
it was really a culmination of things of dishonesty and deceit.
Well, I wasn't dishonest.
There were numerous incidents.
I really didn't have the funds to come back to work.
You know, the most important thing is my son, Kai.
I just hope that Kai finds peace.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Mimsgrave versus Gilmore. Step forward.
19-year-old Brittany Mimsgrave is suing her former friend, Samantha Gilmore, for the return of money she paid to go on a cruise. Samantha says Brittany backed out at the last minute.
Miss Mimsgrave,
Yes.
Miss Gilmore was a friend of yours. You had been friends for a long time, according to what I read in
Yes.
your complaint. A group of girls decided to go on a trip. Where were you going?
We were going on a Mexican cruise.
For how many days?
A week.
And what was the cost to each girl?
It was $325 each.
Very reasonable for a whole week.
Yes.
Did they feed you on this trip for $325 for a week?
I actually don't know. I didn't go.
Do they feed you?
Yes, they do.
In any event, you paid Miss Gilmore your $325.
Yes.
She was making the arrangements. How old are you?
I'm 19.
And you?
19.
Am I correct that someone in the party had to be 21 in order for the girls to go?
Yes.
What you tell me in your complaint is that one of the girls, I believe her name was Ashley, was the 21-year-old, she backed out.
Yes.
So now you have a predicament. You've paid your $325, as have other girls, and unless you found someone else who was 21 years old, you couldn't go.
Yes.
So according to you, you waited for a while to see if somebody else was going to go and somebody else was going to go, and nothing happened, so you made other plans for that period of time. That's what you say. And according to you, Miss Gilmore decided to take her brother,
Yes, well, actually,
decided to take her brother. He was going to pay for himself. And his brother had a friend whose name was
Gaius.
Gaius?
Gaius Mike. He goes by Mike.
Good. His name was Mike. Mike went on your ticket,
Yes.
and you want the money.
Yes.
Now, didn't Mike pay?
No,
Why not?
because we had made oral agreement that Mike was going to pay after the cruise, but Brittany showed up at my house the day before. We left saying that she wanted it then.
Just a minute. Who did Mike make the arrangement with? With you?
With me. He made it with me and she made
Just
it
a
with me.
second. So Mike made the arrangement with you that he was going to pay for the trip.
Yes.
And you told her that Mike was paying for the trip. That was your agreement with him.
Yes.
Now she's suing you because you told her you're going to get your money for this ticket. That's what you told her.
Yes.
Go get the money from Mike. She has no way of suing him because they did not have an agreement. The agreement was between the two of you. You have a cause of action against him if he breached that agreement and didn't give you the money.
Yes, but since she had come to my house saying that she wanted the money earlier than she had expected, I figured if she felt that she needed the money before, even though he wasn't able to provide it for her, she should have called the travel agent herself and said that, because what she said was she wanted her ticket or the money.
Madam.
Ma'am.
She could have done this and she would have done that, and if she did this, she wouldn't have been in that chair. She had an agreement with you, and the agreement was you were going to give her back her money because your brother and his friend were going on this trip with you. And if the friend stiffed you, sue him. He went, he had a good time. I assume he ate, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure his company wasn't that terrific that entitled him to a free ride, right? Right, Mr. Gilmore? You wouldn't give him a free ride.
Ma'am, she canceled out at the very last minute.
Are you following me? Your daughter made an agreement with her that she would get her money back. She has to do that. Now, since she did not gain anything herself, perhaps, unless she likes Mike, she has an absolute right to turn around and sue Mike for the cost of the ticket because he promised to pay her, and he didn't. She may have had a lot of other options. She doesn't have to exercise all those other options. She had an agreement with your daughter. Do you get it?
Yes.
Good. Now, you have a counterclaim for harassment and the expenses surrounding harassment. Ms. Gilmore, you want to tell me about that?
Yes, when she had decided 4 days we had agreed that Mike was going to take her place. We had made the agreement that he was going to pay after, and she kept constantly calling saying that she wanted the money earlier, and I told her that I didn't have it and that Mike hadn't given it to me, and she kept calling me, harassing me, and showing up. She showed up at my house the day before saying she wanted the money or the ticket, and the option was that she could call the travel agent and say that she wanted her place back because I didn't have the money.
So
she was calling me constantly, leaving me messages, called me when I was
that's
at
what
work.
happens when she feels as if you were stiffing her money. That's not a cause of action for harassment. You have to give her the $325, and I suggest that you and your father, when you leave here, you go to small claims court and you sue Mike for the trip that he took, that he enjoyed, that so far he didn't pay for. Right?
Right.
As between the two of you, you owe her $325. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
On a loan.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 273 on the calendar in the matter of Sinise versus Tracky. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. Sinise, the defendant was a friend of yours for several years and a co-worker at a mortgage refinance company.
Yes, ma'am.
Your lawsuit alleges that you brought in a customer to refinance his mortgage. He was a friend of yours. And then, unfortunately for you, you were violated on a parole violation and you were sent to jail. You asked the defendant if she would like to finish the loan application with the agreement that she would split the commission with you. She agreed. And you were in prison for how long?
6 months, ma'am.
When you got out of jail, you called her and said, "Where's my check?" And she says, "I'm not giving you your half of the check because I did all the work." That's your defense.
Basically. I have a little bit more to say about it.
Well, I hope not much more, madam. Let's see what we can agree upon.
Okay.
How long have you been working at this mortgage finance company?
Approximately a year.
And how much of a commission do you get when you refinance a loan?
It was 60% of all of the total fees that were involved in the loan.
So let's say I want to refinance a $100,000 mortgage. What would your commission be?
I'd probably make about $2,500.
What's your friend's name?
Paul, ma'am.
That's not him, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good. Very good. Paul, step up, please.
Sure.
Paul, why did you want to refinance this loan?
I was going to invest in some other property I had, and it seemed like the interest rates were right at the time.
So you contacted your friend?
Yeah. I mean, I knew he was in the business. He told me he had just started working there, so.
You thought you'd give him the business?
Absolutely.
When was this?
I would say probably end of October, maybe the beginning of November, we started talking about it.
Of 2005?
Yes, correct.
And did you ultimately refinance your house?
Yes, I did.
Through the company that they worked for?
Yes, that's right.
And how much was the refinance?
I don't remember the exact, but I think it was around $250 something.
Mr. Sinise, how much was it?
The total refinance was $235,000, ma'am.
Is that correct, Ms. Tracky?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what was the commission on that?
I ended up making $4,660. I have to check it out. $4,666.51.
That was your entire commission?
Yes.
Now, when you found out that you were being violated, by the way, what were you violated for?
Dirty urine, ma'am.
Not smart. Right?
Right.
When you found out that you were going back to serve the rest of your term, what was your conversation with the defendant?
I had called the defendant that night, and I knew she was in financial hardship, and I could have used the money as well to make my car payments while I was away. So I asked her if she would be willing to finish the loan, and we would split the commission 50-50, and she agreed to that.
Okay. The loan was completed, and you got no money.
Correct.
Okay, Ms. Strachey, now I'm waiting for the explanation.
Okay. When this all happened, he asked me to do the loan. There was nothing done on the loan initially. He had just talked to him and said, okay, I'm going to refinance your house. So
He was the rainmaker.
Excuse me?
You know what that means, rainmaker?
No.
That means he brings in the business. Because without his bringing in the business, there would have been nothing for you to share.
Correct.
So he didn't do anything on the loan but bring in the business.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay. Initially, the loan amount was supposed to be over $300,000. We went over the paperwork, the disclosures that he had printed out from when he, put the loan together.
When who put the loan together?
In the computer, put the loan together. You just print out paperwork.
So he had done something.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
He put something in a computer.
Yes, he did.
That's more than I could do. Go ahead.
Okay. We had gone over exactly what the loan was going to be like, and like I said, the loan amount was going to be larger because he had stated to me that he knew the value of the property, which was...
All right, you thought it was going to be $300,000. It turned out to be $235,000.
No, it was supposed to be about probably $50,000 more, correct. So, the loan amount. Because he wanted... Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, I asked him where he got that figure from, because that obviously makes
got to get to a point.
Okay. So, he made up the value of the property. When I found out the real value, we had to cut the original amount that we were supposed to split. We were supposed to split $9,000. That was the original total fee.
Backed out any time. Ms. Strachey, first of all, this loan was completed. Listen to me. Hey, the loan was completed what month and year?
It happened just after January 1st, 2006.
Okay. Since January 1st, 2006, how much money have you made at the company?
Well, I left that company probably a few months later than that. I would say $10,000.
Since January 1st, 2006, how much money have you made?
$50,000.
I hope that the IRS is listening very carefully. How much money have you made since January 2006?
To be honest, I didn't file my last taxes. So.
Ms. Strachey.
Yes.
If you decided when you got into this loan with Mr. Zemanek that the loan amount was inadequate for you to break a sweat and complete, you had that opportunity. But you had a contract with Mr. Sinise. Your contract with Mr. Sinise was you were going to split the commission. It wasn't I will split the commission with you of $9,000.
That was what our
No, it was not. Because that amount fluctuates. You got $4,666.51. Now, do you think that I think that Mr. Sinise said to you, I will split the commission, but if it's $4,666.51, you can keep it all yourself?
No.
No. No.
But when you're dishonest with somebody about the original contract, and I found that out through the process...
Say no, my dear. Say I don't want to do the loan.
Well, he was in jail, so I
So I
couldn't tell
say,
him that,
Mr. Zemanek, I don't want to do your loan. It's not worth my while to do your loan for $4,666.51. I would rather make nothing. I would rather make nothing than make $2,300. It's not worth it to me to make this lowly amount of money, especially when I don't have to share it with the government.
Well, I got an extension. I am filing them.
No, the time to file, madam, is past. Let me explain something to you. It passed October 15th. If you got a 6-month extension, it's over. Finished. They're going to come looking for you. They're going to steal your clothes. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $2,333. Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It's like that? I definitely didn't backstab my friend because we had been friends since then. He told me to forget about the money until he got mad at me.
She didn't want to do me a favor when I was incapable of doing it myself.
Because I didn't do him a favor and get perfume for his girlfriend.
1 cent just cost her over $2,300.
He's a punk.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Barrett versus Levito. Step forward, please.
Jennifer Barrett is suing her fiancé's ex-girlfriend, Tara Levito, for making false allegations to Child Protective Services. Tara says she stands by her claim.
Ms. Barrett, the defendant is the ex-girlfriend of your current fiancé. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it is your claim that she made false allegations about you to Child Protective Services, which resulted in an investigation, some embarrassment. The charges were unfounded, according to you.
Yes.
And you want compensation for that. You said she did it out of retaliation for something. The defendant says that her concerns about your child were legitimate, which is why she called Child Protective Services. Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Her daughter's hair wasn't brushed and she was looking dirty, and I just felt that the phone call that I made was correct. And
I don't care what I didn't ask you about your feelings yet. I'm not quite interested in your feelings now or ever.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jennifer Barrett claims her fiance's ex-girlfriend, Tara Lovito, filed a false report with Child Protective Services. Tara insists Jennifer is a bad mother.
Now, explain this relationship. She's the ex-girlfriend of your current fiancé.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have children with her current fiancé?
No children, Your Honor.
Do you have any reason to have contact with him?
It's just that he calls me, no.
Calls you how often?
All the time. I just had to change my number recently because he calls me all the time.
Did you know that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. You called Child Protective Services when?
This was about May, maybe April of this past year. And the reason I called was because I felt that her daughter was being neglected, and I seen her at numerous times pulling on her daughter. Her daughter was screaming, and there was bruises that were seen on her daughter.
Okay.
So I felt...
Just a second. Miss Lovito, how many times have you seen Miss Barrett with her daughter?
About 3 times.
When was the first time?
The first time was in Mamaroneck, New York, and it was...
Date?
January.
January of 06?
Yes.
And what did you see?
I seen her and
saw her.
I'm sorry?
You saw her?
Yeah. Her daughter and Jennifer in Mamaroneck around like a whole bunch of guys, and her daughter was like just like dancing around and stuff like that, and I saw her like yelling at her daughter at one time.
Okay.
And
how old is her daughter?
I'd say about 7 to 8 years old.
So you saw her yelling? Mm-hmm. When was the next time?
Okay, that would probably be in like March.
March of 06. Where did you see her?
That was in Mamaroneck on the avenue, and she was pulling on her daughter, and her daughter was crying.
Pulling her how?
Pulling on her arm.
And her daughter was crying?
Yes.
When was the next time you saw her?
That would probably be in May of 2006, and that would be in Mamaroneck also.
Yes?
So I seen her pulling on her daughter again, and I seen that her daughter's hair wasn't brushed, and she was looking dirty, and I just felt that the phone call that I made was correct. And
I don't care what I didn't ask you about your feelings yet. I'm not quite interested in your feelings now or ever. I just want to know what you saw.
Okay.
January, you saw nothing. March, you saw her pulling her arm. Mm-hmm. And in May, which was either before or after you called Child Protective Services, because you said you called them in either April or May.
Right.
You saw her pulling her arm.
Yes.
So it is possible that when you called Child Protective Services, you saw her once in March pulling the child's arm. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, it is my understanding, Miss Barrett, that you had had an altercation with the defendant's boyfriend. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this your boyfriend?
Ex-boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend. But he was the boyfriend at the time?
Yes, he was.
When did you have this altercation with the boyfriend?
The beginning of June 2006.
Can I see the report that was filed, please, both on the altercation with the boyfriend and the report to Child Protective Services?
They wouldn't give me a police report for when he came into my job, but I do have the report.
What did he come into your job for?
Telling me that my fiance kept calling Tara, and she was on his cell phone threatening me, but I couldn't do anything because it wasn't a direct threat to me. It was through him on a cell phone. These allegations, Your Honor, weren't made until June 19th or 20th.
Hold on a second. You made the report to Child Protective Services in June.
No, Your Honor.
Well, according to this, you did.
Well, it could have been somebody else calling.
No. Is this the only letter that you got in 2006 with regard to a complaint called about you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, can you tell me the date you made a police report against the defendant's boyfriend?
It had to be around a week before the allegations.
You have any sort of police report?
No, they wouldn't let me file one.
Why?
They told me that there's nothing I can do because I only had his nickname. I didn't know his correct whole name. And they said that there's nothing that I can do.
Name?
Wesley Rayno.
What did you go to her job for?
Actually, I was shopping in the Family Dollar. The Family Dollar is located in Mount Vernon, where I work at. And when I went in the shop and bought me some dollar items, I recognized the defendant.
I don't want you to speak. Listen to me. He's going to tell me his story. Go ahead.
I also have problems with the defendant's ex-boyfriend. He does call, because he calls my job, he calls and harasses me, and he calls and hangs up and all kinds of stuff. So what I explained to her, I asked her what her name was. At first I asked her what her name was. Then I called my girlfriend, and she explained to me that her name was Jennifer. So then I approached her again. I asked her, was she the girlfriend, fiance of the gentleman? Then I explained to her that the gentleman is calling my job, he's calling, he's harassing me, but when she's not around, he doesn't know what the gentleman does. He does call Tara. I never once got out of line, threatened her, called out of her name, caused the uproar in the store, or anything. I left on good terms, and I brought my items and walked out of the store.
Now, what did he say to you?
He told me that my fiance was calling Tara when I wasn't around, emailing her. I don't know anything about him calling his job, and he never purchased anything. He came in the store and left right after speaking to me.
Did you call the police when he left?
Yes, I did.
And did you give the police Miss Levito's name?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you give the police her phone number?
No, because I didn't know her phone number at the time.
Did you have her address?
No.
What other identifying information did you have other than her name?
I knew his nickname that's tattooed on his arm. That's how I knew that it was her boyfriend. And she was on his cell phone. I'm going to come there. I'm going to beat her up. I'm going to F her up and wanting to fight me all the time, Your Honor, and I'm tired. I'm tired of arguing with her.
Shh. Now, Miss Levito, when did the police contact you?
They never contacted me. I found out through her boyfriend now, because he has, like, diarrhea of the mouth.
Okay, good. Well, when did he call you and contact
He's
you?
always calling me, Your Honor.
No, listen to my question.
Okay.
When, after your ex-boyfriend went into the store and confronted Miss Berendt, did her fiance call you?
That same exact day. Probably right after he walked out the store. Okay, I'm sorry.
Just answer my questions. Okay. What did he say when he called?
He said that my boyfriend went in there harassing her, saying that he's threatening her boyfriend or all this mess. And it wasn't even true because I know him, and he went up like just to resolve the whole situation that's been going on. Her boyfriend still constantly calls me. I just had to change my cell number again. You know, she's always talking stuff about me over the phone, and it's just crazy.
Mr. Reno, do you remember what date you were in the store?
Definitely not. It was a while ago. I didn't remember the situation was going on. I mean, just like Tara says, the gentleman pops up and he's in front of my job.
Nothing, listen to me. It has nothing to do with her.
Yeah, but I honestly don't remember. It wasn't like that.
I'm just asking you.
Okay.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
How many?
One.
How old?
6 years old.
Child live with you?
No.
Who's the child live with?
He lives with his mother.
You have children?
No.
Who do you live with?
Myself. I have my own apartment.
How many times have you called Child Protective Services in your life?
I've called maybe 2 other times.
Tell me about those 2 other calls.
One was because I was seeing this girl being bruised up before, and it was a friend of a friend's, and I called on them anonymously because I feel that if you see anything going on...
Listen to me. Shh. I didn't ask you what you feel.
Okay.
I told you before I have absolutely no interest in your feelings.
Okay.
A friend of a friend...
Daughter was bruised up.
Was bruised,
and I
so
seen
you called?
It. Yes.
When was the second time?
The other time was when I was at a park and I saw the mother like reprimanding the kid and hitting the kid on the backside and everything like that, and she was just like shouting at the kid, and the kid was in tears, and the child wasn't even doing anything wrong because I was basically there from the time that the mother came till they left. So I called.
How did you know the mother's name?
It's known town.
I don't understand that.
It's a town that I know people in that were there with me that knew the person's name.
So you asked them the person's name?
Yes, they were with me, yes.
You're making it up as you're going along, Miss Levito, but I'm enjoying this immensely, so I'm going to let it go on. I'm going to let it move on. So if the other people that you were with knew this person, and you didn't, why do you think you were the one to make the call?
Because I feel, I don't even know if I can...
I told you, I don't care about how you feel. What I'm asking you is, why would you think you would call as opposed to people who know this person?
Well, I'm sure they did too, because they told me they were going to.
Really?
Yes.
You're just making it up as you're going along, Miss Levito.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Okay. You're absolutely right. She called Child Protective Services on you because she was annoyed with you. She did it out of vindictiveness and malice, having absolutely nothing to do with what she saw, because according to the dates that she gave me, if I believe her, She saw you pulling your daughter by the arm 1 time. She's seen you in total of 3 times. So if her sense of civic responsibility overwhelmed her, that's going to cost her $2,500 because I think you're a vicious, nasty little lady. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
Yeah, this is case number 340 on the calendar in the matter of Cox Turnowitz versus Turnowitz. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your last name is Cox, is that right? This is your former husband, this is your daughter, and your daughter.
Yes.
I assume you've been divorced for a while. You have 2 children. Your son lives with you. Your daughter lives with you.
Yes. Yes.
And I would have assumed before this car incident that everybody got along reasonably well. So, Daddy wanted to do a good deed, and he bought you a present for your 16th birthday.
Yes.
Bought you a car.
Yes.
A new car.
Yes.
That's some good daddy. According to your complaint, Miss Cox, the arrangement was that he would carry the insurance on the car. It was in his name. It can't be in your daughter's name because she's a minor. So he had increased insurance because now he's got another minor on his insurance. The insurance was something like $200 a month.
Yes.
Which your daughter paid.
Yes.
And then you had an accident with the car was totaled.
Yes, ma'am.
Dad got the insurance money for the car. You feel as if that money was yours.
Yes.
And your dad says that the insurance money isn't yours. He bought the car. He wanted to feel as if you acted responsibly in the car, that the accident, as it turned out, was a result of, he believes, your negligence. And he's not buying you another car for a while, and he's not giving you the money for another car so that you can buy it for a while, because he's the daddy, and that's his prerogative. That's your defense.
Yes.
So I'm prepared to hear you, Miss Cox.
Your Honor, prior to this whole incident, we've been best friends. To where I let his family live with us for 6 months while their home was being built. My new husband, they became very close, very good friends. They purchased a house, they sold the house. After they sold the house, they moved out in February of this year, of 2006. They went on a spending spree. They bought 7 vehicles. They bought Shannon a car that they gave her and said it was because Shannon...
Now let Shannon tell me. Your dad gave you a car, and what did he say when he gave you the car?
He said to me that it was because I miss out on the things because I don't live with him that they usually get around the house and stuff. And so he said in place of that he bought me a car. When he gave me the car, he said that there would be 2 stipulations. One, I would have to pay car insurance, and the other one was that when I got my license, that he would put the car in my name.
Well, he can't put the car in your name because you're a minor.
We didn't even know that.
Okay.
And so I started paying car insurance when I got my license, and I feel that since the car was mine, it was given to me as a gift, that I should get the money.
And what are you going to do with the money?
Buy a new car.
But not a brand new car.
Tell me about the accident you got into.
I was going down a hill. I moved my foot from the brake to the gas pedal. The gas pedal got stuck between my foot and the sandal.
You were wearing what kind of shoes?
Sandals.
Flip-flops?
Yes.
That's not a good thing to do when you're driving a car.
No, it's not.
Did you know that before you got into the car?
No, because that's usually what I wear, and so...
Well, you know, I found this case to be kind of interesting because there is a certain wisdom in your parent being able to say, listen, I'm uncomfortable. I gave you a car, but you could have been killed. And how am I going to feel as if I gave you the car and then you got killed and it's my fault? Because but for the fact that I gave you this car, you'd be alive. You'd never get over that as a parent. Never. You got it? So we'll come up with a more reasonable solution. I assume that you want to do that, sir, because I assume that you don't want to be estranged from your daughter.
Well, Your Honor, I bought all the kids a car. Yes, I did buy 7 vehicles, but I bought my oldest daughter a car, who is my stepdaughter. She wrecked it. It was in my name. She totaled it. Didn't learn my lesson the first time. We did not buy her a new car. We did not get her another car. Her grandmother and grandfather eventually bought her a car. My son, I bought him a car. His car is now in his name because he's 19, has a job, goes to college full-time. He's doing well. I signed it over to him. He's good to go. We gave Shannon the privilege to drive the brand new car, 07, because Shannon doesn't get the benefits that Nicholas gets at the house every day or other kids get.
You have stepchildren? How many?
1, and she's 20. Then my youngest has a car sitting at home now that he'll be able to drive when he gets his license. What we did was about 2 weeks ago, we offered that car to Shannon to drive. And her mother turned us down and said she will not drive anything unless it's in her name. So,
well, that's a mistake.
I'm pretty much...
No. But Ms. Cox, I'm here trying to put a moral solution in this situation. And I find, your father's position pretty solid. I would have no problem if he said, listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the money that I got from the insurance which is what, $12,000?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to put it in a bank account, your name and my name. When you turn 18, you can take that money and go buy a car.
That's what
Your
we
Honor,
asked.
that's what we asked.
Just a second, because I made you a gift, but I'm not prepared to, at this stage, give you the privilege of having a car because I don't think you're ready to have a car. And I don't want to destroy my whole life if, God forbid, something else happens. Is that a solution?
No, Your Honor.
Why?
Because I told all the kids the same exact thing, and she should be no different. You mess it up, you don't do well, you're not responsible, you're done, I'm not going to get you another one.
Okay. The act of irresponsibility that you're talking about was the fact that she was wearing flip-flops in the car. Is that right? That, Mr. Turnowitz, is not such an egregious act, in my judgment, as to vitiate the gift. You see, you made a gift to her.
A privilege.
No, sir. Sorry.
Privilege.
See, no, sir.
Okay.
Wrong. You made a gift to her, and you set certain conditions. And the conditions were you have to be responsible and pay the insurance. Certainly, if she had wrecked this car while under the influence of alcohol, while she was speeding, while she was out at 4 o'clock in the morning with friends and there was beer in the car, I would say absolutely vitiates the gift because it was a conditional gift. But now you're asking me to judge whether the wearing of sandals, flip-flops in the car is such an egregious violation as to say that she's irresponsible, and I say it is not. I'm on your side. I don't think that you have to replace this car right now, and I don't think that you have to give her the money right now for the car. But I think when you make a gift to a child, and it was not a privilege of driving, because that's fancy footwork, and believe me, Mr. Turnowitz, I understand that you have a stepdaughter, and I understand that you made a rule for your stepdaughter, and that you feel as if, well, I can't show any favoritism from one to the other. That comes under the category of too bad.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
We're not talking to the wife. We're talking to him. I believe he's a real good guy. Maybe caught between a rock and a hard place when he gets home. That's not my problem.
And later today,
as I'm in the kitchen, my daughter comes out of my bedroom, and I all of a sudden heard the dog screaming, and the boys are silent.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Shannon Turnowitz says her father, Mark Turnowitz, owes for the return of insurance money he collected on a vehicle she totaled. Mark claims Shannon is irresponsible.
Mr. Turnowitz, you made a conditional gift, and the conditions were not broken. She paid the insurance on the car. You go to school?
Yes, ma'am.
You do reasonably well in school?
Yes, ma'am.
Get good grades?
3.333.
That's pretty good grades. So, you either have two choices, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
She has no job, Your Honor. She can't pay for the car insurance anymore.
Just a second. I'm not asking you, sir, to get her another car now. That's not what I'm saying to you.
I still have to pay insurance. I cannot drop her off my insurance because she is a minor.
I'm not suggesting to you that you keep her on your insurance.
I have to. Geico will not let me drop her unless I prove that she has her own insurance or she is on somebody else's policy.
Mr. Turnowitz, you're not following me, sir. Just because she turned 16, I've had a lot of children that turned 16. Just because she turned 16, you don't have to be on anybody's insurance as long as you're not driving a car. And you're not giving her the car. I'm not suggesting
but
to you...
But she's allowed to drive, Your Honor. She has a license. She can get in her mother's car and go drive under my insurance.
No. Not under your insurance, under her mother's insurance.
Well, then you have to put her on your insurance.
Just a second. Of course.
Okay.
If you're not getting her a car, mother's got to put her under her insurance, and it's going to be an expensive proposition.
Yes, it will.
Absolutely, because now she's been in an accident where a car's been totaled. You are not responsible for keeping your daughter on any insurance.
Okay.
Finished. So let's try to work this out.
Okay.
You want to let her drive your car? Fine, but you better put her on your insurance, because otherwise, if something happens, you could lose everything that you own.
Your Honor, when Mark's wife called me and offered me the other car, I told her, I said, there's two problems with this, Denise. First of all, it's a stick. She's terrified to get behind the wheel of a car as it is.
We're not even dealing with that issue anymore.
This goes towards the insurance part. I also told her, I said, Denise, if you take that money and you put it in an account somewhere in Shannon and Mark's name, and when she's 18, she can have that money to purchase her own vehicle, that's fine. I'll take her off your insurance and I'll put her on mine, and she'll drive my husband's truck.
Just a second. That's exactly what I said.
And that's what I told his wife.
Just a second. That's a reasonable solution. And it's a solution that...
Your Honor, her answer to me was that she spent the money.
Just a second. Just a second. We're not talking to the wife. We're talking to him.
That was never brought to me, Your Honor.
We're talking to him. And he's a good guy. Maybe caught between a rock and a hard place when he gets home. That's not my problem. But he looks like a real good guy, and he looks like a guy who loves his children and wants to be a very good father. Doesn't want his children to be angry with him, and especially a child that's got a 3.33 average, who evidently both of you did a terrific job with. So, Mr. Turnowitz, I think that you should take that money and put it in a bank account so that your daughter will have a car when she turns 18. As long as she behaves responsibly and continues to do well, she'll be off to college when she's 18. And you feel as if, well, now you're on your way, just like your son's on his way. Is that a reasonable solution?
Yes, Your Honor.
Done. Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Shannon and I talked about it, and her final words to her father when he basically told her to go to, excuse my French, was, fine, Dad, I'm going to take you to court.
I honestly don't think it was my daughter. I think it was my ex-wife pushing my daughter to do this.
The friendship is gone.
It depends on what happens. You know, I'm pretty much done with the two of them.
You just said that our relationship was over.
They got through some issues last year, and I'm sure they'll get through this one, too.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Riggs versus Unger. Step forward.
Daycare provider Amanda Riggs is suing former client Sue Unger for vet bills and daycare fees. Amanda claims Sue abruptly pulled her son out of daycare after he broke her Pomeranian's leg.
Miss Riggs, you provided daycare for Miss Unger's son. How old was your son? When
4.
And how long did she provide daycare for him?
About 1.5 years.
No problems?
No.
And then something happened. Something happened with a puppy that you had. And you want Miss Unger to be responsible for 1/3 of the vet bills because Miss Unger's son, who was 4, and another one of your charges, who was 4, injured your puppy?
Yes, ma'am.
And you believe it's their responsibility to pay for the vet bills?
Only because the boys were breaking a rule. If it had been an
All
accident...
right. You're going to tell me about it.
Okay.
Miss Riggs. What kind of puppy did you have?
She's a Pomeranian puppy.
How old?
She's about 4 months old.
And when did this happen?
September 14th.
How many children were you watching that day?
3.
How old?
2 were 4, and 1 was 2.
Your son's name?
JT.
And the other 4-year-old?
Max.
Was it JT and Max who were involved with this accident?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me what happened.
On September 14th, the older kids were able to play with the puppy, and they were running around in the yard, and the dog was having a great time with the older kids. The younger kids asked me if they could play with her.
The younger kids, you mean JT and Max, the 2 4-year-olds?
Yes, ma'am. And I said yes. And I took the puppy and we went to the playroom, and I was in there for 15, 20 minutes, and the boys played, and everybody was having fun. The dog was chasing them, and they were yelling, and the dog was barking at him, and everybody was having a great time. After about 15, 20 minutes, I went to the kitchen to start preparing lunch. The boys were kind of in and out of the play area, and there's a little nook off of my kitchen. I was aware of what they were doing at all times. I could hear them. I could hear everything that was going on. Everybody was happy and having fun. As I'm in the kitchen, my daughter comes out of my bedroom. She'd been watching Barney, and I went in there to turn the TV and the VCR off. And while I'm in the room, I all of a sudden heard the dog screaming, and the boys are silent. And I ran back to the playroom and found the puppy laying on the floor with her leg twisted, and both of the boys were standing on either side of her, like, oh my goodness. And I said, what happened? And JT pointed to Max and said, he threw her. You know, I looked at Max and I said, why did you do that? And he points at JT and he says, well, JT threw her too. We were both throwing her. And the puppy is screaming the whole time. And I picked her up and I told both boys, I said, go sit down at the table right now. I was upset. So both of the boys went to sit down at the table. I immediately got on the phone with Max's mother. She works 5 minutes away from my house. I said, please come sit with the boys. I think that they broke her leg. She runs straight over. At that time, I had lunch on the table. Her son is also enrolled in my program.
How old is he?
He is 9 years old.
Go ahead.
So the other mom shows up, and the kids were eating. My daughter was finished at that time, so I put her in the bed for nap time, and I took the dog to the veterinarian's office.
Now, your daughter is how old?
She's 2.
She's a 2-year-old?
Yes.
So you want Miss Unger to pay for 1/3 of the vet bills?
That she agreed to.
Did you?
That's not exactly true. She had called me 2 hours after the incident. It was 2 o'clock, and she had already gone to the vet and left my child unattended with the other parent without notifying me, and told me that there had been an issue with my son, basically what she told you. And I was so emotional and upset of what was going on. I was in tears after the phone call, and I had told her, you know, at that point I was confused and...
Whatever you said, at that point I'll pay for.
Well, I felt that at that point I was responsible because I didn't know the whole story, and I did, you know, I felt...
Okay. Miss Riggs, puppy's okay?
She is.
Is this a witness? Does she have anything to add to this case?
No, ma'am. Not other than a character witness.
Okay. And Miss Unger ultimately removed her child from school, and you also, in addition to the vet bills, you want her to pay for the 30 days, that she didn't give you 30-day notice.
Yes, ma'am. When I got back from the vet's office, I called her to tell her what happened, and I told her the entire story. So she shows up early that day at 4 o'clock to pick up JT, and she asked for his blanket and pillow. And I said, okay, is he coming back? And she said no, she could barely speak. And I said, well, why not? Can you tell me why? And she says, well, you know, I can't pay for this. This is my grocery money.
I never said that.
You did.
Well, whatever, but you had not had a problem with her, Miss Riggs, for the year and a half that her son was in your care. So clearly her decision to remove the child that day was precipitated by this incident, because that's not coincidental. So I have to make a judgment as to whose responsibility it is and whose fault it is. You know who I think? You.
Really?
Your Honor.
Shh! Does it sound as if you're not having a fair shake here?
No.
Miss Riggs, I'm going to give you an example that doesn't involve a puppy.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a 2-year-old daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's say you were in the kitchen cooking lunch and your 2-year-old daughter was in the crib. You had just put her down for a nap. And the boys were playing in another room. And all of a sudden you hear your 2-year-old daughter screaming. And you go inside and the boys had gotten into the crib and it hurt her. Twisted her arm. You took her to the emergency room. You had an emergency room bill of $900. Fortunately, she's okay. Whose responsibility do you think it was? Not theirs.
She has
Not
an
the
agreement
parents.
with me.
Not the parents. Your responsibility when you are a daycare provider is to ensure that while these children are in your care, they are supervised. And if they do anything while they are in your care, that's your responsibility.
Yes, ma'am.
Once you assume the responsibility for caring for toddlers, and if the toddlers are acting like toddlers,
They're 4.
that's a toddler.
Okay.
They're not in school. They're in daycare. They're not old enough to be in kindergarten. So if you elected to allow them in an unsupervised way, see, I've had small puppies too, and I have grandchildren. I wouldn't let my grandchildren around my puppy for nothing. And they're kind, gentle children. But they don't understand that if you pick something up and you squeeze it too tight and the bones are very fragile, they can be hurt. They don't have a capacity to understand that. That's your responsibility, Miss Riggs. I think that it was an unfortunate circumstance, but certainly if I had a 4-month-old puppy and 2 4-year-olds and I was going inside to fix dinner, lunch, or whatever, that puppy would have come with me and gone right back into its crate and said, boys, you can come in, you can play with it in its crate, but when I'm not here and you're running around 2 4-year-olds and you have a little tiny 4-month-old Pomeranian puppy that can get stepped on and crushed, I wouldn't have left it in the unsupervised control of 2 4-year-olds. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
All the judges. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Hodges, you are the owner of this bar and grill.
It's a corporation. I'm the president, majority shareholder, yes.
What's the name of the club?
Belly Up Tavern.
How long have you been president?
28 years.
In the 28 years that you've owned the club, how many times have you been sued by patrons for having them illegally bounced from your club?
I'm going to guess 5.
Now, Ms. Ackerman, it is your complaint that one or more of the defendant's employees that were employed as security in defendant's club forcibly ejected you from the club. Not only were you bruised physically during that time, but you were also emotionally bruised, embarrassed. The defendant's position is that you were drunk and disorderly and had to be forcibly removed from the club. Is that right, sir?
Correct.
Okay. This is the boyfriend who was with you that night?
Yes.
You are Mr. Parisi?
Yes.
Fine. Okay. Miss Ackerman, tell me what you were doing at the club that night.
It was supposed to be a really good band. We were actually down the way at a grand opening for a tile and bath store.
So you hadn't started out there?
Had not started out, had not had plans or intentions of going there in the first place.
How far was that from the defendant's pub?
Probably about 5 doors north, same sidewalk.
And what time did you arrive at the grand opening?
Around 8:30.
There was alcohol served there?
They were serving alcohol, yes.
Okay, and did you drink there?
I started to have a glass of wine poured for me, but they ran out of white wine, so I had maybe half a glass.
And was Mr. Parisi there with you at 8 o'clock?
Yes, he was.
Were you a guest of whom at this tile and bath place?
A woman named Susie Banks. She was working to open this new store.
When did you leave?
Around 9.
Okay, what happened at 9 o'clock?
Susie Banks gave us tickets.
Look at me.
Gave us tickets for the Belly Up. She said it was a really good band. I don't even recall the name of the band at this time. and she handed us the tickets and talked us into going over to the Belly Up.
And you got there about 9 o'clock?
Shortly after, we did stop at the Wild Note Cafe, which is right next door to the Belly Up, with another couple, and we shared dinner and shared one bottle of wine there.
What time did you leave dinner?
I know it was before 10 o'clock.
And you went to Belly Up Tavern?
We went into the Belly Up.
And you gave them your passes? Mm-hmm. And when you first arrived, did you have anything to drink?
No, I didn't. It was actually so crowded I couldn't even find my way to the bar, let alone order a drink.
Why don't you pick it up from there and tell me what happened with the defendant's employees?
I had gone into the bathroom.
What time?
I wasn't carrying a watch, so I really can't say. I'm sure that all this was over and done with by 11 o'clock. But when we came out, it was just way too overwhelmingly crowded for me. I wasn't enjoying myself, so I approached Lorenzo, told him that I was going to be leaving, and I didn't mind if he stayed. And I was headed towards the exit when 2 to 3 men approached me from behind. I didn't even see them coming.
And what happened?
And they started to put their arms on me without saying any words. That's my whole argument. I feel that they used excessive force instead of verbal communication. If they would have just spoken with me.
Tell me what they did exactly.
They started to put their arms on me.
What do you mean started to put their arms on you?
Well, they approached me from behind, so I couldn't really see. My peripheral was, pretty restricted.
Right.
And they didn't say anything. I asked who they were, what they wanted. I didn't hear any response. And as soon as they started to touch me, I started to shrug them off, shake them off, because I didn't want them touching me or on me. And they wrestled me to the ground and picked me up by my ankles and my wrists and carried me out the front door. And during the struggle, unfortunately my tube top had slid down around my waist, so as they were carrying me out by my ankles and my wrists, I couldn't even pull up my shirt. My whole upper body was exposed.
And what happened?
They dropped me off out front, and police came, and a friend drove me home.
Is there a police report?
I heard that there was a police report.
You don't have
I don't have it.
Fine.
I have a sheriff's report from when I made a report about not even 2 days later.
So you were not physically injured?
Minor scrapes and bruises all over my body, my back, my shoulders, my arms, my wrists.
Do you have any photographs for me?
No, it claims right here in the sheriff's report that he does note all of them, and he admits that when he tried to photograph it, the lighting was wrong. He shot directly.
I'd like to see that.
I highlighted that section with the actual injuries.
At first you told the detective that you did not wish to prosecute the case, is that right?
Yes.
What changed your mind? Did you see a lawyer?
I believe...
The answer is either yes or no. Did you see a lawyer?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I spoke with one on the phone.
How many days later did you speak to a lawyer?
The next day.
Did you go to the hospital or an emergency room that day or the next day?
No, I did not.
Was it at the suggestion of the lawyer that you called and make this sheriff's report?
I do not recall.
Sure you do. The only intervening act between the time this incident happened and the time 2 days later, not related to this incident, was your call to a lawyer. Is that right?
I did call a lawyer the next morning.
Fine. You also told the detective that you were going to see a doctor that day. Is that right?
Yes.
Did you go and see the doctor?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What doctor did you go and see? Was it a doctor, your personal physician?
It was through the Sharp Reese Steely Urgent Care, and I did not have a chance to pick up the records before I left. I do have my chiropractor's report.
You went to a chiropractor?
Yes. She
Did you
referred...
ever... Shh. I'm asking questions. Had you ever seen a chiropractor before?
Yes, I have back problems to begin with.
So you went to see the same chiropractor that you had seen before?
Actually, no. I had never seen James before.
So you went to a different chiropractor?
Yes.
Is the chiropractor that you went to a chiropractor that was recommended by your attorney?
Yes, he was.
It's almost like I have a crystal ball.
Sounds like you've been there before.
Yeah, I have been. Now, Mr. Hodges, were you there that evening?
No, I was not.
Are these your two employees?
One employee and one independent witness.
Who was the employee?
Mr. Samatua, right behind me.
And who was the independent witness?
Joe Taylor, and he's sitting next to Mr. Samatua.
Mr. Taylor, you want to step up here, sir?
Sure.
Were you a patron in the club that night?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you witness this event?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
How much had you had to drink?
I don't drink.
You don't drink at all?
Nope.
So what were you doing at this club?
Listening to the band.
Other than being a patron and visiting the club, do you know the defendant?
No, I do not.
Now tell me what you saw.
I was standing at the end of the bar, and I was just up stretching my legs because we were sitting close to the stage. And I just kind of heard a ruckus, and she had come out of the ladies' room. And
Did you see that?
I didn't see her come out of the ladies' room, but I heard one of the bouncers, and I believe it was this gentleman, say to her, "You can't go around shoving people." And then she basically turned to him and told him to go himself.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I did serve her wine myself, and when we did run out of wine, she actually showed me behind my desk where she had a stash of wine.
That's not true.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Aaron Ackerman says nightclub owner David Hodges owes for an assault committed by bouncers at his club. David says Aaron was drunk and belligerent.
Go ahead.
And he got up and he put his hand on her arm and said, "You have to leave the premises." At that time is when she pulled away and he went to grab her again and she started to swing.
What do you mean she started to swing?
Well, she didn't want, leave me alone. And then at that time another bouncer came. And one of her shoes came off because she was kicking so hard and flew back over.
What do you mean she was kicking so hard?
She was trying to get away from him, I guess.
You mean she was standing up and kicking?
Yeah, at that time.
Go ahead.
Then a third bouncer saw what was happening. He came over and she was fighting so hard she slipped and she went down onto the ground onto her back. And she was kicking and trying to punch, scratching, and that's when she was exposed on her top.
Did you see her being removed from the premises?
I saw them finally pick her up and take her towards the front door, and that was the last I saw.
You were never close enough to her to determine whether or not she appeared to be intoxicated?
Not really. I couldn't smell her breath or anything like that, no.
Well, she acknowledges that she was, buzzed. Is that the word you used?
I believe it was, yes.
Yes, I see that in the report that you have here. The detective, you say you weren't drunk, but you were buzzed.
It's a little lightheaded.
Does that scenario sound familiar to you?
Not quite.
Well,
I didn't actually start kicking until I was already on the ground.
How did you get to the ground?
They wrestled me down.
That's not what he said. He said that you were kicking so hard that you slipped.
That I threw myself off my feet.
That you slipped. Fell. That you slipped and went down.
And no one was touching me on my way down.
Well, I'm not. They were trying to grab her to escort her out the door.
Mm-hmm.
And in all the ruckus.
Do you recall the security guard telling you that you have to leave?
He didn't say one word.
Do you recall saying anything to him?
No. Just, what do you want? What are you doing?
You don't recall anything that this gentleman says he heard you say, cursing at him?
No. Not until I got outside. I recall being very volatile.
That's not what he said. He said that within the club.
I did not swear within the club.
You know this gentleman?
I don't. Never seen him before in my life.
Well, he saw you.
Sounds like it.
It does. And he wasn't buzzed.
Good for him.
He was also a mile away by the stage. Excuse me.
You were buzzed too.
We were in a bar, hence the word tavern.
I don't even want your bouncer to testify. I don't even want you. Sorry to call you a bouncer, sir. Okay? You're the security officer.
Security technicians.
What, security technician.
Security technicians.
By the way, thank you very much, Mr. Teller. I appreciate your coming.
Thank you.
Would you step up just for a moment? I just have a couple of questions to ask you. Do you wear any particular kind of uniform?
Yeah, I wear a yellow shirt that has a staff on it, belly up staff.
Do the other security technicians also wear yellow shirts?
Yeah.
How long have you been employed by Belly Up?
2 years.
Ever been the subject of a lawsuit before?
No.
Hmm?
No.
Okay, have a seat. Have any other witnesses for me, sir?
We have Susie Banks here.
Is she outside?
She's outside, yes.
Herb, would you get her? Susie Banks.
Susie Banks.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Deputy stated Ackerman was very drunk. She swore, staggered, and pushed him in the chest. That's the police officer.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Erin Ackerman is claiming she was assaulted by a bouncer at David Hodges' nightclub. David has produced a surprise witness who claims Erin was drunk.
Miss Banks, it's my understanding from the plaintiff that she was your guest that evening in the opening of a tile store. Is that right?
Yes.
That's what is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Miss Ackerman says that they ran out of wine by the time she was going to have a glass of wine. She had about a half a glass of wine. Does that sound right to you?
No.
Well, what do you know?
I did serve her wine myself.
You did?
Yes, I did.
How many times?
I don't recall the number of times, but we were all having a great time. And
What did she have? One glass of wine or more than one glass of wine?
More than one glass of wine, and we did run out of wine. And when we did run out of wine, she actually showed me behind my desk where she had a stash of wine. So she had an extra bottle in there for us for when we ran out of the wine.
You remember that?
That's not true.
Then Miss Ackerman says that you gave her 2 tickets to go to the Belly Up Tavern to hear this band. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's correct.
And what about the other couple that they were with?
They also got tickets.
Right. You have any other witnesses that you want me to hear?
Just the person that I was with and saw everything happen also.
Come on. Now, Mr. Parisi.
Yes.
You want to tell me what you saw that evening at the tavern?
At the Belly Up Tavern?
Mm-hmm.
From which time? From when we first got there? Or?
Yeah. You weren't there very long.
We did enter together into the club. We had been there a while. I think I had gotten to the bar and had a beer or two. It was really loud. It's really dark inside there. It's not the
You had a
light.
drink or two,
Yeah, a couple beers. Yeah, absolutely.
but not Miss Ackerman.
I actually wasn't with her when I was having the beer
Why not?
because I walked up to the bar to get a beer. There's 1,000 people in
I
this
ran
place.
into my girlfriend.
Speak not.
As far as his story, stretching his legs by the band, that's a good 30 feet away from where we were at the time. So I don't know how he could have heard anything or seen anything when there's 6-foot high people, thick all the way to the stage.
He wasn't near the stage, sir.
He said he stretched his legs by the stage.
No, that's not what he said. He said he was at the bar. He
Oh,
stretched
he was right
his
at the
leg-
bar? Okay, excuse me.
Stretched his legs and he went over to the bar.
Okay, that's fine. Well, anyway.
So why don't you just worry about your testimony, not his?
Yeah, okay. She had come out of the bathroom, I think, and I was standing right. The bouncer sits at a certain spot when you enter the club. So she had come out of the bathroom. I had already gone by him and was standing right around the corner. She came by me, said something to me. I put my hand out or something, and
All right, she said something to you like what, Mr. Parisi?
I don't really know. Exactly. Just she was leaving or she didn't want to be there anymore.
And you said you put your hand out. How did you put your hand out, sir?
To stop her for a second because she was moving kind of quickly.
So you put your hand out to stop her?
Yeah.
And what happened next?
She shrugged my hand off and said she was leaving.
So she pushed your hand
Pushed
away?
my hand away.
Okay. Go ahead.
And then, which happened really quickly, the bouncer, or bouncers, I think maybe it was one at the beginning, came up behind her and grabbed her.
How did he grab her?
He
Show
grabbed
me.
her from behind. He
I
grabbed her.
want you to show me, sir, on Miss
Came
Ackerman,
up
how
from
he
behind
grabbed her.
and grabbed her like this
Okay.
and started to push her this way to leave.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
She turned around and, of course, started to kind of swing and shrug him off because she didn't know what was going on. Nobody quietly tapped her on the shoulder and said, "Excuse me, ma'am, you need to leave," which I don't know why she would have to leave anyway when she didn't push or shove or fight with me.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing was even going on.
And you didn't hear her say anything to the bouncer?
No, it was too loud. There's a band playing. I
So you
couldn't
didn't
anything.
hear?
No, I couldn't hear anything.
So she could have said what Mr. Taylor said she
could
said.
have said anything. I couldn't hear. It's too loud.
So she could have said,
I don't know how he could have heard.
it was so loud you couldn't hear anything. Is that what you just said?
Kind of hard to hear, yeah. Certainly.
So the bouncer could have said to her, "Sorry, ma'am, you have to leave,"
While he grabbed her, sure.
while he grabbed her arm.
Sure.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Can I see the police report that you have, Mr. Hodges? Ms. Ackerman, I'm going to read you what Deputy who responded to the scene that evening and actually witnessed what happened, at least outside, stated in the police report. Have you ever seen this police report?
Yes, I
Sure
have
you have.
heard what was in it.
Yeah, you heard what from your attorney, I assume. Is that right? Your attorney who told you, "I can't represent you anymore, I'm not wasting any more time on this case." Is that right?
No, that is not correct.
I assume that's why you're here and he's not. Deputy stated Ackerman was very drunk. She smelled strongly of alcoholic beverages. Her movements were slow and uncoordinated, and her speech was slurred. he asked Ackerman what had happened, and while she was trying to explain, she swore, staggered, and pushed him in the chest. That's the police officer. Ackerman was trying to explain to the police officer how she was pushing her boyfriend inside the bar. Police officer asked her not to touch him while she was talking to him. Ackerman nevertheless pushed him 2 more times, and he considered arresting her for being drunk in public. Ms. Ackerman, you don't have a case.
Seated, gentlemen have seats.
All right, Ms. Moshesky, you received an inheritance when you turned 18 years old, and you proceeded to act like an idiot with the money when you got it. Is that a fair statement?
That's correct, Your Honor.
How much did you get?
A couple $100,000.
A couple of hundred means 200,000?
Correct.
Was it more than 200,000 or less?
225,000.
How much do you have left?
0.
How old are you now?
20.
How long did it take you to blow the 225?
Less than a year.
Is this the ex-boyfriend?
That's correct.
How much did he get?
Whatever he wanted.
And this is the ex-boyfriend's brother?
That's correct.
According to you, you made a loan to the ex-boyfriend's brother for a truck down payment that he wanted. And that was $1,000.
Correct.
When did you give him the $1,000?
On June 27th.
Of what year?
2001.
And now you want $1,500 back, $500 for interest.
Correct.
That you don't get. Okay. You have a loan agreement with him?
It was a verbal.
Tell me about it.
The ex-boyfriend had asked me to give him his brother the money, and I did. And he said that he would give me the money back.
Who said he would give it back?
The brother.
I mean, this guy right here.
Correct. He said, quote unquote, I will give you the money back, regardless if you break up. You will get your money back.
No, ma'am.
Tell me what happened.
Well, what happened was me and her went shopping that day, looking around for pickup trucks.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I found a truck. Well, later that evening, we went out to, I think it was...
Wait just a second. Don't go later that evening. You jumped over something.
Well...
You saw a truck that you liked.
Yes.
And how old are you?
20.
So when you were 19, you saw a truck that you liked. You said, how much is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Uncross your legs.
Yes, ma'am.
So you said to the man who was the salesperson, how much is this truck?
Mm-hmm.
And what did they tell you?
It was $12,000.
Did you talk to her about the truck?
Yeah, some.
What did you say?
I said I liked it, thought it was nice.
And what'd she say?
She said, yeah, it's pretty cool, whatever.
Good. And didn't talk about any specifics?
No.
Okay, what's the next important thing that happened, Mr.
The next important thing is that I had mentioned to her, I said I ought to go to my parents and get a loan for $1,000 or something like that to put down on the truck, because I'd already talked to the bank earlier, and they said you could need at least, $1,000, $1,500, as much as you can put down would be great. So we went, and we went out. We were going to some bar or something like that, where it was like a backyard bar. Me and her were out in the truck, and Kenny came out. We got in the truck. She was taking us home. When we got to my house, she turned around, and she handed me a check for $1,000. I looked at it. I said, look, I cannot take this money, I said, I can't pay you back. And she said, look, she said, don't worry about it. If you can't pay me back, it's no big deal. She said, if you can, that's great. Not, no problem.
How much money in the course of the year that she was feeling pretty flush did she spend on you and your brother?
She never really, spent money on us. I mean, she'd say, hey, let's go get a four-wheeler or whatever.
Let's go get a what?
Four-wheeler, ATV, four-wheeler. So,
listen to me, four-wheeler.
Wheeler, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
ATV. And they drove right down there. She picked out the one she wanted, wrote a check for it, loaded it in the truck. We'd go to San Antonio. She'd get the nicest hotel room, take everybody, 15 people out to dinner, $500 dinner checks.
Did you buy anything for these two guys in the year that you were feeling pretty fresh? Tell me what.
Well, I have the summary from the bank that shows the ex-boyfriend, the defendant, Kenny, his personal bills. I was stupid. I did waste the money.
Kenny's personal bills.
And I have a copy
Anything
of the
else?
check. I have a copy of the check.
This isn't a whole bunch of money. This is just some money. Kenny's personal bills.
Correct.
Kenny, she paid some of your bills at one point in July?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Because she wanted to, I guess.
Well, what were you doing?
Ma'am?
What word didn't you understand?
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Stand up. You hear me better when you stand up. Why didn't you pay your own bills?
I don't know.
She didn't have the money.
Don't help him out. You still have the truck?
Yes, ma'am.
She doesn't have any money left.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, she was pretty stupid.
Yeah, should have managed her money better, I guess.
Right.
If it would have been a loan, she would have made me sign a note or something.
Sit down. Sit down. I didn't get there yet. I said, when you needed money to buy a truck, she gave it to you, right?
Yeah.
And now she doesn't have any money because she was really foolish.
Yes.
She blew it. But now she needs some help. Don't you think it would be nice for you to help her by giving her back the money she gave you?
Yes, I would, but it's, I mean, it goes, it's a long line of how do I say it? Craziness, I guess.
Well, why don't you tell me about the long line of craziness?
One night, let's see, me and my brother went down to the beach, and constantly they were just, I mean, they were always fighting, always fighting. Well, me and my brother went down to this beach. It was a fishing trip, and only guys only. And she wanted to go, and she wanted to go, and Kenny told her no, so she was mad that she couldn't go. So while we were down, she called probably 300 times on the cell phone, you know, calling, just arguing and everything.
This, I assume the story has a point.
Yes, yes. Well,
Get to
anyways, we get back to the house where she's calling. And she comes over at 3 o'clock in the morning, beating on the door. We let her in. She goes straight back to his room, jumps on top of him, starts hitting him in the head while he's sleeping. While he's sleeping. And then I go in there to break him up. She turns around, she drop kicks me around the stomach.
Yes.
And so we asked her to leave, and then that's when they broke up. She never said anything about it.
Why don't you get to the point of my question?
That's the whole point. I mean, it's why should I help her out from all that?
Because she helped you. That's
Okay.
why. That's what I asked you, sir. I said she helped you when you needed some help buying this truck, and now she's down and out and doesn't have any money. Wouldn't you think it was the moral thing for you to do?
Yes, I do.
To give. That's all I'm asking you, and you gave me a whole story that had nothing to do with my question.
Okay.
All I'm trying to do is to teach you at your age. Don't laugh because you look stupid.
Do I?
Yeah, you do. You do. You really do.
That's cool.
All I'm trying to do is to suggest to you that, you know, you have a long life to live, and there are certain things that moral people do, and there are certain things that people who are amoral do. Amoral means not moral, in case you didn't know that. So, and I'm suggesting to you that she doesn't have a legal case against you because I don't believe this was a loan. But right now, she's in a position where she blew her inheritance. Somebody probably worked very hard to put together this $225,000 that they left to her. So it seems to me, if you're a moral person, you will say, I don't have any legal obligation to pay her back, but I do have a moral one.
Yes, ma'am.
And if not, then you'll grow up to be a bum. Your case is dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, I dated the defendant. He was emotionally as well as physically abusive.
Just glad it's over and tired of the phone calls and harassment from her.
He just used me for my money.
It gets annoying when every time you pick up the phone and starts saying, where's my money, where's my...
He disappeared. The week I ran out of money, just completely disappeared. I was worried. I bent down to kiss him. He turned his head, so I hit him.
She's just crazy. I'm glad it's over with. And I don't want to have nothing to do with her ever again.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Walker versus Smith. Step forward, please.
Office manager Charvette Walker is suing teacher Velma Smith for the cost to fix her car. Velma says the damage is Charvette's fault.
Miss Walker, you're driving in your car and you see Miss Smith, who you know, she used to be your son's school teacher?
Yes.
And she evidently was having some car trouble.
Correct.
You pulled over and you said, what's the problem? And she said to you, my car is stuck. And she asked you if you could push her car so it was out of the intersection.
Correct.
Is that right so far?
No, Your Honor. No, it's not.
You didn't ask her to help you?
Yes, but not in those words.
I don't care if it's in those words. And I mean, I wasn't there. I'm giving you general. Can you help me? Could you help me get my car, push my car out of the intersection? Is that a fair statement? And according to you, you did use your car to push her car.
Yes.
And you say that your car was damaged.
Correct.
And you want her to pay for the damage to your car on the bumper and one of the lights as a result of you pushing her car.
Correct.
Tell me why she should pay for it.
Because as we pulled up, she was standing out there flagging down traffic, and I did pull over. And she said to me that she had been standing out there praying that the Lord would send someone to help her, and that he had sent me. And I asked her, well, what do you need me to do? She was sitting
it's like a highway. There's nowhere to park there, and she was blocking traffic. So I did tell her I didn't want to push her with my car, but I would, you know, help her push. She said, oh, no, we can't push the car. Just push her with your car. Don't worry about it. I'll fix it if there's any damage. The Lord sent you, and just help me. I'm going to lose my job if I don't get, you know, back to work by such and such time. And I went ahead, being the person, you know, she was my son's school teacher previously, and I thought she was a good person. She's supposedly, as far as I knew, a minister.
I don't need the editorial comment, madam. Just tell me what happened.
I turned around in traffic, pushed the car back. As I got in, it was pushing from the side. So what I did is tried to move the car over a little more to get in front of it because we were pushing kind of up a driveway hill. The car slid back down and kind of bumped the car bumper. I went ahead and we finished pushing it. Once we got the car up into the driveway, she did stop and take a look at the car before she got into my car. I was going to take her to work. And I said, is there any damage? She goes, no, I thought there was something there, but there's just a little dirt. So I didn't think anything else of it. You know, she was steady saying she was going to lose her job. She didn't get back. The school that she was working for at the time was up the street. I went ahead and I dropped her off at the school, took my son to school, and I went to work. At that time, I did take a look at my car once I got to work, and it did look like there was a smudge of dirt, but actually it had dug into the bumper.
Let me see the damage that you allege happened as a result of pushing her car. Now I'll hear you. She stops the car, and what does she say, and what do you say to her?
She asked me what could she do to help. I told her that a passerby had been by, that we needed to get the car up the small slope. I did not state that I was going to lose my job or anything of that sort. Never told her that if there was any damage, I would pay for it. Ms. Walker knows that I'm a responsible person.
Right.
This is...
The only question that I have, Ms. Smith, is did you say to her, if there is any damage to your car, I'll pay for it?
No, Your Honor, I did not.
Then, Ms. Walker, she's not responsible for your car.
She did say that, Your Honor. She was so busy ranting and raving at that time and needing help, she probably doesn't remember what she said. Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I had an hour in between to get back to school.
We're not talking about that, madam. You're skirting all around it. You know, you're not teaching a class.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Office manager Charvette Walker is suing teacher Velma Smith for the cost to fix her car. Velma says the damage is Charvette's fault.
I believe you when you say that you didn't say to her, if there's any damage to your car, I'll fix it. Because you don't even anticipate there being any damage to your car. Because if she anticipated there being any damage to her car, she wouldn't have stopped to push you. But don't you think it's a moral thing to do, to pay for the damage to her car?
Certainly, Your Honor, if there was a scratch there, I most certainly.
But there
would have
was.
done that. No, it was not, Your Honor. I was the last person to see the car. Mrs. Walker's son is here, my former student. This is very difficult for me, for him. If you would permit, I would like for him to, if you would mind, for him to be out, because he can even see.
Absolutely. Take the child outside, please.
Come on.
Okay?
Your Honor, he could not see. I was the last person to see the...
He didn't see anything.
He didn't see it. He was sitting in the back.
I didn't ask him any questions, Miss Smith.
Okay. All right, Your Honor. For a person who's standing here lying, this, if I may, Your Honor, is the same person who wrote this for me. May I?
Sure.
Ma'am. Ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. Gives me something to do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Thank you.
So she wrote you a lovely poem. Yes, go ahead.
She's standing here lying, saying that I kept saying I'll lose my job. First of all,
forget that.
Okay.
Forget that.
First of all, Your Honor, her story is too inconsistent. When she called me and told me about the damage, it was on a Wednesday. This happened December the 13th, which was a Friday. And she called and said, I'm sorry to have to call you. If though that she knew I had to go back to school, I did not tell her that. I had an hour in between to get back to school.
We're not talking about that, madam.
All right.
I'm saying to you, because you're skirting all around it, you know, you're not teaching a class. I said to you, I believe that you did not say to her, if there's any damage to your car, I'll fix it. I am telling you that I believe that this happened as a result of pushing your car. Don't you believe it is the moral thing to do to pay her for the damage to her car?
No, Your Honor, there were no scratches on the car. There was none. And I did put
How long were you outside waiting for somebody to push you?
20 minutes altogether.
What had happened to your car that caused the car to become disabled?
I wasn't quite sure whether it was out of gas, and that is what I stated to Ms. Walker.
So you don't know why, but your car just stopped dead in
It
traffic?
just stalled, yes.
Wow, that's happened. That's pretty frightening. There are cars driving by you. That's pretty frightening. You're standing out there for 20 minutes. Nobody's helping you. Is that right?
Yes.
I just changed my mind.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I believe that you did tell her that if there was any damage to your car, I'll pay for it. Can I see the estimates for your car,
Yes,
please?
you may. Your Honor, I have one other thing I'd like to show you, too. She did also send my dad a card for Christmas in regards to the fact that I'm sorry about your daughter's car. If she felt she did nothing, why would she send him a Christmas card stating that she was sorry?
I don't know. Let me see it. Ms. Smith, let me tell you why I changed my mind about you saying to her, if there's any damage to your car, I'll fix it, because you're out there in traffic, and you're very upset. Car's not moving. People are whizzing by you. Nobody's coming to your assistance. Ms. Walker came by. I believe that she first offered to help you push the car without the use of her car, just the two ladies trying to push it. You said, no, that won't do it because you're going uphill. So I believe that in the excitement, you might have said to her, I'll push it. If not, morally, you should take the responsibility to fix her car because it's the right thing to do. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $398.83. Thank you.
Thank
Parties
you.
are excused. You may step
Your
out.
Honor.
Yes.
I also had rental car expense. Okay. Thank you.
Quite welcome. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
Ms. O'Neill, you and the defendant were engaged to be married, and according to your complaint, the defendant used your credit cards. You had not given him permission to use the credit cards, and he racked up bills in excess of $5,000.
Correct.
The defendant says that he had the right to use your credit cards. You had given him permission.
Correct.
You have a counterclaim, sir, that it's a whole potpourri of stuff. You claim that you put a lot of money in a truck that she kept and some other stuff, which you will explain to me later. Miss O'Neill, when were you and the defendant living together?
He moved in late September.
And tell me about the credit cards.
The credit cards are in my name and my name only. The credit cards had a zero balance, and I took the defendant once to go shopping for his children for Christmas presents. I was aware of that, and I'm not disputing those charges. And we also had put a down payment on my ring on that same credit card. He said it was his responsibility, and so when the statement came, he would make the payment directly to the credit card company. He'd give the envelope to me sealed, and I would mail it from my place of business, and so on and so forth.
He took the bill sealed?
He took the bill, he sealed and I'm assuming opened it to pay it, but I never...
But you never opened the bills?
I didn't see the bill because, again, it was his responsibility because it was presents for his children and, again, for the deposit on the ring. I didn't see the statement because I had nothing on there at that time. And, Your Honor, I really do feel like this matter was something that was brought forth premeditated. I think that he...
Okay, so let's get to the story and then we'll discuss whether it was premeditated or not.
Okay. I had the credit cards put safely in my bedroom because I was not going to be...
Well, so far you had one credit card that he used. What about the... You said
right.
Now you had
There's
another
a second
credit card.
that had gotten mailed to me that I did not use anything for. We took one trip to Tahoe that we did use. And again, I'm not disputing those charges. We charged about $150 that weekend. So what had happened was I placed the Visa in the headboard of the bed, and then when the MasterCard came, I also put it with that as well.
When did you discover that there were excessive balances on the credit card?
On March 27th, I received a notice that there was a certified letter at the post office waiting for Jason that was for a storage unit that I had had my bed in that had all of his other belongings in it. So I was a little suspicious because obviously it wasn't a Christmas card, it was probably an eviction, and that means that he was back a couple months. So I confronted him that evening, and I asked him, how are we doing on the bills in general, my ring, the storage, you know, little things like that. He said, oh, honey, you know, we're caught up, we're fine, and he also got offended that I would even ask him something like that. So he was at that point lying to my face. So that morning when he left for work on the 28th, I went through a side of his bed that there were drawers that he kept a number of receipts and tax return information. When I found the credit card statement, I noticed that I also found forged receipts that have my name forged in his handwriting, and also a lot of the receipts in his possession matched my credit card statements with an outrageous balance. So
what was the balance?
The balance on the credit card was almost $6,000. That was the Visa, and the MasterCard was about $1,500.
You have those statements?
Yes.
I'd like to see them, please.
Did you want to see the forgeries too?
Yeah.
Okay. These are the receipts, and then these are some information along with my copies of my time card as to...
No, just give me the receipts, please, and the balance that you found on each of the cards. Am I correct that there was some cash withdrawals as well?
Correct. And I've never made a cash withdrawal, and I don't know how he got the PIN, but my name's Aaron, and he had commented once before that he had called for insurance purposes on the truck, that he used my name, Aaron, and he thought it was kind of humorous that he could get information using my name. And so I'm assuming he might have used that method to obtain a PIN number, because I don't know my PIN. I've never used cash advance.
Did you ever get a PIN number yourself?
I never received one myself. I don't know if one was ever mailed, or because I don't use that. And Your Honor, on a lot of the forgeries too, he's misspelled my name. So.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, Your Honor, I have some proof here, some letters here showing that she did give me permission to use the credit cards.
Mr. Valley, let's start from the beginning, sir. I want you to start with where you got the credit cards from, when you took them out and used them and signed her name.
Your Honor, I used the credit that she gave me, the credit cards to hold in my wallet. There was nothing in, no coverage or nothing like that. She gave them to me when we go out at night and stuff like that. She didn't want to carry a purse, so she gave me her driver's license and her credit cards. Sometimes she'd have a little too much to drink or something like that, and we're checking out, okay, and it's like, you know, we're signing away, and she'll say, just sign the credit card. I didn't think this was a problem. I had no idea. I always had the credit cards in my possession, because when I first met her, she used to keep her credit cards in the freezer in a bowl of water, okay, because she had using the credit cards too much. She racked up bills and stuff like that.
Yes.
When I first moved in, you know, she says, okay, you know, pay a minimum rent. You know, here's my credit cards. You pay off your credit cards, okay? And she says, well, you know, I have a better interest rate, and that let's use my credit cards when we need them, as long as you pay me back. And I was making the payments. I was paying them back.
There we go. As long as you pay me back.
Yes.
Okay. You see, you keep talking. Sometimes if I let you keep talking, and you stick both feet in your mouth. So, you acknowledge, sir, let me take your best case scenario, that you used her credit cards, but the agreement was you would pay for those credit card bills.
Correct.
So why didn't you pay them?
I was paying. I have proof here that I was paying them every month.
How much were you
Okay,
paying?
I was paying $140 a month.
So therefore, Mr. Valley, you acknowledge that you owe her $5,000.
No.
Well, explain that to me, sir.
Because
either you took the credit cards, pay attention to what you just said. Either you took the credit cards, as she says, without her permission, or you had her permission, but your agreement was that you would be paying a minimal rent and you would take care of all the charges on the credit cards. That's what you just told me a moment ago. So explain to me why you don't owe her $5,000.
I was to take full responsibility what I put on the credit cards, Your Honor.
That's not what you told me, sir.
Well, that's
I mean,
what
how does that work out? You order 2 egg roll, you pay for yours and you don't pay for hers?
No, Your Honor.
You you put gas in the car, you split that down the middle. How does that work?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Chevy pickup, when we purchased it, it was bone stock.
No, I purchased the truck. He has credit worse than a 2-year-old.
And later today,
I apologized and I told her I was late on the payment and that I would get to it. She...
Talk. Did you make March's payment?
No.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Aaron O'Neill says ex-fiancé Jason Valley forged her signature to make unauthorized credit card charges. Jason says he had permission.
Go ahead.
If you look on the credit card statements, it shows her charges, then my charges, her charges, then my charges.
I'm talking about your charges, which are in excess of $5,000, sir. Not her charges, the charges that you made, whether it be for gas or restaurants or anything else. Now, are you telling me now that your agreement was that you would split those charges 50-50?
We never had that agreement, no.
So your agreement was that you were supposed to pay the credit cards?
For my charges, yes.
Right. All right. So we just took care of that. Give a guy long enough, and he always just gets right in there. All right, Mr. Valley, now let's get to your counterclaim, sir. Let's start with this truck that you say she owes you money for.
Back in October, we purchased a 98 Chevy extended cab four-wheel drive together. Okay? My financing wasn't going to be the greatest. She said, let's put it in my name. We'll get a cheaper finance rate. The Chevy pickup, when we purchased it, it was bone stock. It was no add-ons, no nothing. I purchased lift kit, all kinds of accessories, and when we broke up, she came to my shop saying, I want the truck. I said, that's not a problem. I will take my stuff off. I will put your tires back on, do whatever has to be done. No, I want it now. I said, well, I'd like to have my property. And she says, no, take me to court.
Yes.
Okay. We purchased the truck? No. I purchased the truck. He has credit worse than a 2-year-old. I purchased the vehicle myself.
Who's making the payments on the truck?
He was making the payments on the truck, which I also show that he was also delinquent on the payments for the truck. So I had to pay $500 just to get current when all of this happened.
Who's making payments on the truck now?
He was. Oh, I am.
Now?
Oh, I am.
Okay. Is the truck in your name?
Yes. Always has been.
Did you ever make an arrangement with him that he would be reimbursed for any additions or any modifications that he put on the truck?
No.
All right. Now let's leave the truck for a minute. Did you enter some sort of a contest with him?
Yes.
All right. And that's the last part of your counterclaim, sir, that she owes you for half the prizes that were awarded to you as a couple from this dream wedding contest, which turned out to be not a dream wedding.
Nightmare.
So tell me about that.
We won gift certificates to different places like jewelry stores, and it was like $3,000 in gift certificates.
Okay. You want to respond?
Yes, Your Honor. The total for the gift certificates retail face value was $3,305. None of the gift certificates have been used. I have sold about half of them in retail value, and I have had $1,200 from those gift certificates, and I'm also showing that...
Show it to him, as a matter of fact, first, before you give it to me.
And I also have the original entry showing that it's all in my handwriting and my effort that was placed forth, and again, my effort to sell.
But you won as a couple?
Correct.
All right, and you sold some of them, is that right?
Right, and the ones I have remaining that I did not sell actually equal $50 greater value than the profit that I made on the ones I sold, and I'm more than welcome to hand them over to him now.
Okay. Mr. Valley, you want the other half of the gift certificates?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Give them to him. Perfect.
There's the photographer, $955, a caterer for $250, and then 2 vacations. One has a retail value of $475, and the other's unmarked, but it, I'm assuming is
whatever. That's what he wants. He wants to sell it or he wants to use it. All right. Now, I think that we have resolved this matter. Mr. Valley, you owe $5,000 for the charges that you put on her credit cards that, according to you, you were supposed to pay for. According to her, you stole. I take your word for the fact that you had a permission, but you agreed to pay for them. So you owe $5,000. The vacation packages and the photographer, you have half the value of the gift certificates. As far as the truck is concerned, I find that there was never an agreement that you would be reimbursed for anything that you put in the truck. The truck is in her name. She is currently paying for the truck, so for the truck you get nothing. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $5,000. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He really thought he was sneaky and that he would get away with stealing forever.
It's her word against mine.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ritchie versus Morales. Step forward, please.
Salesperson Tammy Ritchie is suing her sister, nurse's assistant Tristine Morales, for the unpaid balance on a car loan. Tristine says Tammy repoed the vehicle, so she's not paying.
Miss Ritchie, the defendant is your sister.
Yes.
According to what I read, your sister needed a car. She didn't have good enough credit, so you co-signed a car loan for her.
Yes.
When was that?
January of 2001.
What kind of car was purchased?
The 2001 Toyota Echo.
And what was the amount of the car loan?
Just over $13,000.
And I assume your arrangement with your sister was that she would make the car payments.
Yes.
And maintain the insurance on the car. According to your complaint, she didn't do that. You repossessed the car. You took the car back from her. And now you feel as if she should pay you at least $5,000, which is the maximum allowed in this court because you're stuck with the car and the payments. Is that what this case is about?
Yes.
Okay. And your sister says she doesn't have the car, so she doesn't see why she should make the payments. What were the monthly payments on the car?
$296.
When did you repossess the car?
April of 2001. She had not made any payments on it, so I had to, I had talked to her first.
When was the first payment due?
I believe in February.
Did you make February's car payment of $296?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I was behind in bills, and
so you have no reason.
The first payment that I was supposed to make, I was behind, and it was late, and I had told my sister I apologized that it was late, and that I would take care of it as soon as possible on my next paycheck.
Did you finally pay that car payment?
No.
What about March? And
No.
I'll ask you for proof of all of these things. So in March, you didn't make
No,
car
I didn't
payment.
have the car in March at all.
You had the car in
She had
April.
taken the car away from me.
No, she took the car back in April.
No, she took the car away twice. The first time was in March.
Then she gave it back to you.
She gave it back to me after I had went, and I apologized, and I told her I was late on the payment and that I would get to it, and she...
Talk. Did you make March's payment?
No.
And then you took the car back in April?
Yes, not...
Okay, now, you don't have to say anything else. Your sister's a deadbeat. I mean, what do you want?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tammy Ritchie says her sister, Christine Morellas, owes for a car loan. Christine says Tammy repoed the car prematurely.
What kind of track record did your sister have with you that would have said to you this was a smart thing to do?
Well, it's my sister, and I wanted to help her. She had the 2 kids. She has a job. She said she couldn't get to work, and she was having problems.
So she needed a brand new car?
We wanted to get her a reliable car, something that she'd have the kids in, something that she can go to work in.
How is she getting to work now?
She bought a car.
Really? When did you buy a car?
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Really? What did you use for money?
My income tax return.
What kind of car did you buy?
It's an '89 Honda Prelude.
That's what you should have bought before, not a brand new car.
But the agreement was that she was going to take care of this car and buy a car.
Let me see the papers on it, please.
You want all this?
Yeah, let me take a look at it.
There you go.
Well, what do you expect your sister to do with your debt, madam? What do you expect her to do with your debt?
You know, paying the car and making my payments wasn't a problem.
You didn't
wasn't.
make the payments.
The first payment was late, and I made the agreement that I would pay her, and that wasn't a problem. When we made the agreement the second time around, I was making my payments.
You didn't make February and March's payment.
I made 2 payments.
What do you expect her to do with this car now?
It wasn't a problem for me having the car. It
What?
wasn't. She took the car away from me the
No,
second
it was a
time.
problem, madam. If you didn't make 2 months worth
I was
of car
making my
payments...
payments on the second time around. I was. She took the car away from me again.
Oh, you know, I mean, are you stupid or what? If you don't make a February car payment and you don't make March...
I made 2 payments in April.
Show me.
She has all the receipts.
Show me. How much
She
did she give
has
you
all
in
the
April?
receipts.
And what happened was, for the first 2 months, the payments were not made.
Of course.
Okay,
She
so she didn't
acknowledges
have
that.
insurance, and I put her on my insurance until she got her own. After I put her on my insurance, the insurance company told me she had like 6 points on her driver's license, which skyrocketed my insurance. I took her off my insurance and said, until you get your insurance back, until you get your own insurance, I'm not going to do this. I can't do it anymore. And that's when she just gave up and didn't want to pay anymore. I tried everything in there.
What do you intend to do with this car?
Well, if things go well today, I intend to take both the cars into a dealership, turn them both in, and apply this as a deposit. Everything goes well today, I want to apply it toward a deposit.
Everything goes well, Miss Ritchie, is a problem. Because what you're asking me to do is to say, you probably will get this amount of money for your car. And I can't do that. I don't know whether it's going to be $3,000 or $4,000. I have no idea, and neither do you.
I'm sorry, I do. I've looked into doing it. This is not something I've not done lightly. It's taken me a while to do this. The car payment right now, Blue Book's at $6,000, $7,000. The car's still owing about $11,000 on it.
Okay, let me go back and check the Blue Book. The old trusty Blue Book, $7,700 in fair condition. Good condition is $8,825. So let's say it's $8,000. Did your sister give you any money whatsoever towards the car?
$300 total.
Okay.
Your Honor, on the Blue Book value, that's maybe Blue Book, but you can't trade it in for that value.
Listen, I can do the following. I can make an award for you today of $440. She gave you $300. She owed you $740. And then what you can do is you can go and sell the car, and then you can refile your lawsuit. What is your pleasure? I can't speculate.
I will sell the car.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Miss Michaud, according to your complaint, you and the defendant had at one time been friends, and then there was some sort of a tiff over a boy. But there came a time when you were sort of having a girls' beauty day. You were at a friend's house, the defendant was there, everybody decided to color their hair. According to you, the defendant applied a hair dye on your hair. Is that right?
That's correct.
And then you stayed home, and she and some of the other girls went out to get some other products. They were gone for a couple of hours. You rinsed out the hair dye. Everything was fine. They came back. The defendant put a conditioner on your hair, and then all your hair fell out. Right?
Correct.
So you are convinced that she put something in this conditioner that caused your hair to fall out?
Yes.
What kind of hair product did you use? Was it a product that you had used before? The
Yes.
dye?
The dye was the exact same dye as I had used 3 months prior to this.
The same one?
The same color, the same everything.
Okay, and how long did you leave it on?
45 minutes, like it said on the box.
And you rinsed it out?
And I rinsed it out.
And then you just sat around the house and waited for them to come back?
Well, I was watching her daughter. They stopped at McDonald's or something, I don't know. I was watching her daughter, and I was just rinsed the conditioner, well, the dye out of my hair, and waited for them to get back. And then
What happened when they got back?
She came, and she had 2 little travel-sized bottles of conditioner. She gave one to Karen and one to me. She asked Karen to put it on her hair, and she told us to put it on her hair for as long as we could stand it. Now, I'm not sure what that meant, but once we put the conditioner on
Well,
her
did
hair...
you look at the travel-sized bottle of conditioner?
Yes. It was the exact same. I've used that conditioner before. It was the exact same kind as she was using.
Right. And did you open it yourself?
No.
Who opened it?
Danielle.
Were you there when she opened it?
Yeah, I was there when she opened it.
And you had used that conditioner previously and nothing had happened?
Correct.
And you put it on your hair and what happened?
I let it sit for a little while, and then it started to burn. And Karen went into the bathroom to rinse that conditioner because she had it on her hair, too.
Step up here, please. You're Karen?
Yes.
Karen, when you put the conditioner on your hair, did it burn too?
No.
It didn't burn at all?
Nope.
Had you ever used that conditioner before?
No.
But you went to rinse yours out.
Yes.
Why?
Because she said her head started to burn, so I was scared that it might have a reaction with my head, so I went to rinse my hair out, and I rinsed it out, and it was just conditioned.
What happened when you went to rinse yours out?
Well, I went into the bathroom to rinse it out, and I put my head under the drain. I was standing in the bathtub, and I looked down at my hands, and there was hair in my hands, but I thought it was just because I had dyed it, and maybe someone died, right? But then I came to the conclusion that when I dyed my hair, it was fine. When I rinsed the hair dye out, it was fine. All of a sudden, it started coming out in clumps, like the whole bathtub, the whole bathroom was covered in hair. My hands were full of hair.
How long was your hair?
Short, but...
Okay.
It didn't come out at the root. It came down to like a little stubble. And for 3 days, it just kept coming out more and more. Every time I washed it, every time I brushed it, it just kept falling out and falling out and falling out. Until I had a burnt spot in my head that would stretch about that far.
Did you take the bottle of conditioner?
No.
Why not?
Because the garbage had gotten emptied out with the bottle of conditioner in it right after it happened.
Well, wouldn't it have been wise to save that bottle? Once you
Would
saw
have been-
all your hair falling out in the drain.
It did cross my mind, and I went to look in the garbage, but it had been emptied already.
Who emptied it?
Karen.
Where did she put it?
Oh, I'd emptied the garbage can because we had dyed our hair and used the same garbage can. So I have a 3-month-old downstairs, so there was like all the chemical stuff in one garbage can. So after we had put our conditioner out and it started to smell, I took it out, tied it up in a bag, and put it in the garage outside.
Okay, so there was no reason why you couldn't go get that vial from the garage outside, right?
Right.
Well, why didn't you think about doing that?
Because I wasn't really convinced yet that she had done it. Like, I was suspicious, but I wasn't really convinced that she had done it.
Okay. So now you're having a reaction and your hair is coming out in clumps as you're rinsing it out.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not convinced that she did it. What convinced you, according to you, that she had done it?
Well, once I stopped to think about it, she's cut my hair before, and it looked not so great. And she went to Karen
in to my boyfriend Brian and said, well, I cut her hair like that so she'd look stupid so Brian wouldn't want her. And not only that, but a friend of ours was sleeping on the couch one night and she said she was envious of her hair.
Just a minute. Is this something that you heard or that somebody told you?
Well, she said it to her.
What did she say?
She said that Nicole asked her to cut her hair, and she cut her hair, and she said that she purposely messed up because Brian told her to do it, to make her look ugly.
Now, did you go to the store with her?
Yes, I did.
And how many other people went to the store with her?
It was me, Danielle, and Jamie, who is a friend of ours. He was at the house that night.
What store did you go to?
We went to Walmart.
Were you all together?
Yes.
Were you all together when the conditioner was purchased?
No. Me and Jamie took some of the stuff that she wanted to buy. She said she wanted a phone card for her phone. So we went to the electronics section to get her phone card while she was purchasing everything else she had bought that day.
Who carried the bag with the conditioner and all the other stuff?
Danielle.
Now, when you got back, who took out the conditioner bottles from the bag?
Danielle.
Did they look exactly the same?
Yes.
Was there any indication that either one had been tampered with?
No.
Did you see both bottles?
Yes.
They were both the exact same bottles?
Yes. Travel size conditioners. Same kind, everything.
So when they were taken out of the bag, do you remember this when she took them out of the bag?
No, I wasn't there when she took them out of the bag. Like, we had everything set up in the bathroom, but the problem was I have a 3-month-old, so we couldn't all just be in the bathroom at the same time. So she went downstairs first, and I went downstairs. Jamie was already downstairs, and Nicole was already downstairs because she was there. We had just gotten back. I went into the bathroom. The bottles were already out of the bag. They were on the counter. She grabbed one. She said, here, you got to put this on your hair. You got to put it on your hair dry, like instead of having the water in it. So I'm like, okay. So I put it on my hair. No big deal. Just left it in my hair.
How many other items were purchased that day?
There was the 2 bottles of conditioner, a phone, 1 or 2 phone cards for cell phone, a prescription, I don't know what it was though, from the pharmacy. And hair dye, her hair dye.
Whose hair dye?
Danielle's.
You didn't see any purchase of any hair remover or anything else, did you?
No, I just know what she said she had to pick up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did either of the 2 conditioners smell any differently when you put them on?
Not at first, but once we put them on our head, then my hair started to smell like if you were to light someone's hair on fire.
And later today,
We ended up filing a police report on Amanda Sheppy because she threatened to kill me.
Well, did she threaten you before or after you didn't pay the rent?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nicole Michaud says Danielle Faria tampered with her hair conditioner, causing her hair to fall out. Danielle denies the charge.
Well, Danielle, I have one question for you. Did you dislike her enough to put something in that conditioner that would cause her hair to fall out?
No.
Hmm?
No, ma'am.
What do you think might have caused her hair to fall out?
I'm not sure, but as soon as it started happening, I was the one who was on the phone to the hair dye company and to the conditioner. Karen was there when I was on the phone with them. I asked them, I said, this is what's happening, what can we do?
Is that true?
Yes. They said nothing. They said she must have just had an allergic reaction or something, because on every hair dye, the pamphlet where you get the gloves, says do a 48-hour allergy test.
Yeah, but she had already used this hair dye according to her before.
True.
Okay, but you actually got on the phone.
Yes, I did.
Did anybody suggest that you get the little bottle and find out anything about the bottle?
Well, no. The actual hair company that we used, the actual product, they were closed. Like when I called, this was at probably like 10 o'clock at night, they were closed. So I called L'Oreal, which was the product that I used, just the number off my box, and they're the ones who told me this, and they said just make sure she doesn't brush her hair or whatever. And the conditioner didn't even cross my mind, because conditioner, you wouldn't think it would do anything.
You told her to put it on and leave it on as long as you could.
Mm-hmm.
Did you tell her that?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Just because that's what the lady at the Walmart told me when we were shopping. I didn't even remember, I didn't even think of getting the conditioner until we had talked to the cosmetician, whatever she's called, in the Walmart, and she had said that because Nicole wanted to dye her hair black, then put blonde peroxide streaks into it. So I asked her, I said, well, what can we possibly use to, I know her hair is going to be damaged either way, but what could we possibly use to at least save it a little bit? And that's what she gave me, was those 2 conditioners.
You know what your problem is? what you think, Nicole, may have happened. It is possible. But the one thing that you would have had to establish that Danielle did something purposefully to you is to have saved the bottle, right?
Yes.
Wasn't put in a trash compactor, it was just outside in the trash. All you had to do was open up the trash, dig in, find both bottles, because you don't know which one is which. You would have had both bottles. They could have been tested to see if there was anything in there. Did either of the two conditioners smell any differently when you put them on?
Not at first, but once we put them on our head, then my hair started to smell like, if you were to light someone's hair on fire, that's what it started to smell like. The entire basement smelled like burned hair. And hers smelled fine, just smelled like regular
And her
hair.
smelled fine.
Yeah.
What kind of dye did you put on your hair?
Same as hers, nice and easy.
Were you planning on putting blonde streaks in your hair?
I was, but I hadn't gotten that far yet, because she had given me the conditioner and said, if you put this on your hair, then it'll stop it from dyeing when you put the blonde streaks in. And so I did.
Do you understand what the problem is? I mean, what you're accusing her of is a serious, really a serious assault. Tampering with a product in order to cause danger to you. I don't know if that's true. I mean, she purchased the product. There was no indication that they were tampered with before it was put on your head. Is it possible that she went into the store, purchased these 2 vials, went over to a different area, picked up a hair remover, poured some out somehow, right? Filled up your bottle with, or part of your bottle with a hair remover? I mean, is that possible?
I think it is.
It's possible. It's unlikely that somebody wouldn't have seen all this activity going on in the store, right?
It's true, but we never really asked anybody in the store if they'd seen anything weird.
Well, if you never asked anybody, then that's your problem, because you're suing her. You go into the store and you ask a question, and you get the evidence. The proof is in those little bottles. But before I'm prepared to say that this young woman committed a felony, which is really what you're talking about, because that would have been a felony, I need more proof than that, and so does every other court. I think you look terrific. And it's going to grow. It's a style, anyway. Still have the same boyfriend?
Kind of, I guess. We still associate.
Okay, good. All I can tell you is, Miss Faria, if you did what she thinks that you did, if you did, that's a terrible thing. Unfortunately, she can't prove it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Why does our excuse? You may step out.
Danielle has a way of getting in and making everything look like it's okay for a little while, and then pushing everybody out and ruining everybody's life.
Nicole has a way to turn everything. She's a drama queen. She screams it for attention, and she'll do anything to get it.
I'm not going to let her touch my hair anymore.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Nicklin, Sheppy, Peterson versus Dingman. Step forward, please.
Carrie Nicklin, Amanda Sheppy, and Emily Peterson are suing former roommate, 19-year-old student Lisa Dingman, for breaking an apartment lease. Lisa says she broke the lease because she received a scholarship to go to another school.
All right, not a very difficult case. You ladies all went to college together. You decided at some point that you wanted to, the following year, live together off campus in an apartment. And you found a 2-bedroom apartment, and the 4 of you signed a lease. So far, am I correct?
Yes.
At some point, you decided that you were changing schools.
Yes.
And you were going to be living in another city, and were not going to avail yourself of this apartment.
Yes.
Your lawsuit wants rent for 2 months, her share of the rent for 2 months, when you did not find another roommate.
A month and a half, we're asking, and the $100 to change the lease.
When you leased this apartment, it was from what month to what month?
The lease began on August 17th of the year 2000, and it would go to the following date of the following year.
And it started when the school year starts.
Right, a few weeks before school started, which was convenient for us because we started practice early anyway.
What kind of practice?
Cross country.
Cross country?
Running.
Running.
Yeah.
All of you were on the team?
Yes.
But it's not easy to find a roommate during the summertime because school isn't in session, but you have to rent this place for a year. Is that right?
Yeah, and Lisa had only given us 3 weeks' notice.
No, don't ask. Just answer my questions.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Well, do you think that this is reasonable?
After what they put me through, no.
I'm not interested in what they put you through.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. University track team members Carrie Nicklin, Amanda Sheppy, and Emily Peterson say former teammate and roommate Lisa Dingman owes them for breaking an apartment lease.
Okay, I've had kids who are in college. They have to rent a place for a year, even though they're not using it for the whole period of time. Is that right? Okay. So, and people aren't there before so that, you know, you could fill in immediately. You have to wait until people start coming back and looking for another place to live. Now, why don't you think you're responsible for this month and a half and for, according to the plaintiffs, the $100 that they had to pay in order to change the names on the lease?
Because when this started, I did offer to pay the $100 to change my name, but they have put me through a lot of stuff. We ended up filing a police report on Amanda Sheppy because she threatened to kill me. And Carrie
Well, did she
Nicklin,
threaten you before or after you didn't pay the rent?
this was before. We had a meeting at Emily Peterson's house, and I brought along a list of options that I said that I would be willing to help them to help this situation out.
Well, what kind of options did you offer?
I offered that they can go with the three of them, and the monthly rent would go from $720 to $620, and they would each only have to pay $26 extra a month.
Why should they have to pay anything extra?
Because I was offered a scholarship to go to another school.
Yeah, but they're not responsible for that. You are.
Okay. Another option that I gave them was that if they wanted a fourth person, I would be willing to find them a new roommate, and then I would pay the $100 to take my name off of the lease, and I would pay $100 to put somebody else's name on the lease. And they would not agree to that either.
Well, that's reasonable that they wouldn't agree to that. I assume when you rent a two-bedroom apartment, that means you're going to be sharing a room with somebody, and they want to be able to choose somebody that they are compatible with rather than having you go out and find somebody that may not be somebody that they can live with.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Do you think that this is reasonable?
Well, I felt that if I left it up, like if they were to find another roommate, and I did not help out and all, that they would drag this on for the whole year, and I wouldn't be able to afford to pay $100 a month living someplace else.
Of course, you're absolutely right, but they didn't do that. They found somebody almost immediately.
They did not inform me of that.
Well, but they did. Certainly when you received the summons to appear in court, you realized that it was just a month and a half, that they were out your share of the rent, so they found somebody immediately.
Yet when they first were going to summon me to court, it was for $665. And that I did not think was reasonable at all.
Well, do you think that this is reasonable?
After what they put me through, no, I do not.
I'm not interested in what they put you through. $370 is a month and a half's worth of rent and $100 to change the name on the lease.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Lovely. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $370.
Parties are excused. Ms. versus Mosley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Young folks, have a seat, please.
The mothers were not at this birthday party, is that right?
That's correct.
But from what I read, and I will speak to the children who were involved, you are suing Miss Mosley because, according to your complaint, the actions of her son caused your daughter to break her foot.
That's correct.
And you are suing her for $5,000 for sordid medical bills and, I assume, some part of that for pain and suffering. Is that right?
Correct.
Well, I have to figure out what happened. So I'd like the two of you to have a seat, please, while I speak to the children. You're Felicia.
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you, Felicia?
I'm 12.
And whose birthday party was this?
One of the kids there, but I don't know their names. I was invited by my mom's friend's daughter.
And I gather that they had in the backyard one of these enclosed things where you go in and jump around?
Yes.
I've seen them. My grandchildren have them at their parties. And there's walls all around it. And kids sort of go in, they take off their shoes, and they jump around like crazy.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were in this apparatus, and Devon was there.
Yes.
How many other kids were in the jumping apparatus?
A couple of them, but some couldn't go in there because they were wet, because they were swimming.
So tell me what happened when you were inside.
Let me see. When I first went in there, I was jumping around, and Devon kept pulling me over, pushing me down and Rachel down. I told him to stop, and he just kept on doing it. And then I told him to stop at the point where he stopped. Then what happened was he started saying, like, I want to pick my pillow, I want to jump on my pillow, and I love my pillow like an armadillo and things like that. And then he started...
He was just being a boy.
Yes, and then what happened was he was jumping on top of girls, and he was on top of girls. They would ask him to get up and all that stuff. And then other girls, they just didn't pay attention. They didn't let him off. So what I did was I dragged him off, saying, "Get off of her," because I didn't. That's not fair that he was on top of her.
So you went over where he was involved with another child, and you physically pulled him off.
Yes, I said, "Get off of her."
No, listen to me. You physically pulled him off.
Yes, I did.
Okay, what happened next?
And then what happened was he started doing it to me. And then what happened
What do you mean he started doing what to you?
He started jumping on top of me.
Okay.
And then he started to do it more, and I told him to stop. Then he got on top of me and said, how come my pillow has such soft legs? I said, "Get off me." And then he started saying that, "How come my pillow has such a big butt?" And then I said, "Just get off me, back up before I slap you." It didn't feel right. He just was talking about my body and saying this and that. And then it just got to the point where I got mad and I hit him physically. And then...
Where did you hit him?
Hit him on the back, trying to get him off me. He was on top of me. I was trying to hit him on the back, right? Because I got so sick of it. I went to go get a drink of water. I stepped out the apparatus and I went to go get a drink of water. And there's so many kids, you know, I didn't notice that he was still in there. Then he was in there, and I said, "Oh, not you again." And then he said, "I want to rape my pillow." I just looked at him like disgusted at him. And then what happened was some of his friends or some other friends, guys came in.
By this time, there were a lot of people in there.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Because we started out with just a few, now we got to a lot. There were a lot of people in there.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're still in there?
Yes.
Okay. You haven't gone out for your drink of water yet?
Yes, I have.
Did you go out and come back?
Yes, because I didn't notice that.
Just a second. So you went out and got your water, and then you came back.
I didn't realize that he was in there, ma'am.
Don't tell me what you realized. You went out, you came back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then what happened was his friends came in there, and then they started like tackling me and pushing me down, kicking me, punching me. And then I was just like on the balloon floor, and what happened was I got kind of fed up, and I got mad, and I started hitting them back. And then what happened was I got mad at a full adrenaline force. I just started hitting them back, and then I started hitting them back, and then okay. And then I just hit
Felicia, I want you to hold on a second.
Okay.
And try to compose yourself. You want to take some water?
Fine.
Okay. Now, Felicia, they were pulling you.
No, they were like hitting me, punching me.
Where were they hitting you and punching you?
They were like on the right side of the balloon. They started hitting me, pushing me. And I don't know if the adults thought.
I'm not talking about pushing. That's what you do inside those things. You push everybody down and you jump on top of them. I mean, that's what that stupid thing is for. I'm talking about punching.
Yeah, they hit me. They kicked me. I saw Davon. They hit me. They were wrestling me like you do on TV. And then what happened was Davon.
That's his friends.
Right, and then Davon, he was doing flips on me. He missed me several times or more, and then he started coming at me, towards me, and I kicked him away from me. I pushed him because I got mad. I started hitting his friends in self-defense. And then when I was leaving, someone said, "Look behind you." I looked behind me. I saw a foot come at me. And so when I went to when I touched the ground, I saw my foot go like that and it bent. And while I was crying and suffering, they were all, I'm going to say a couple of curse words. Will you allow me? They're saying this is in trouble and call the ambulance and all that stuff and just making fun of me and laughing and just saying derogatory remarks at me. And then when they lifted me up and put me on a chair, I saw behind me and he was just playing a Game Boy. And he didn't even apologize.
And you got hurt and you broke your foot.
Yes, I had to get surgery.
Okay. Let's hear.
Well, everyone in the jumper was wrestling, and she came in and she asked could she play. So we started playing, and then, like, she got out because she said she didn't want to play anymore. And she came back in, and we were all wrestling, and we were having flip contests, and I accidentally hit her because she was in the way. And then
Who were you wrestling with?
Well, the guys were wrestling with the girls. And then I stopped wrestling with her. I started wrestling with my cousin. And I pinned my cousin on the ground. And then she came over and she dragged me and she said, get off, and she kicked me. And then everyone else started wrestling again. And like there was water and soap on the ground from the kids who were swimming. So it was slippery and she was leaving and I slid and I hit her. And she fell out and twisted her leg.
Well, when you slid and hit her, is that the exact moment that she fell down?
Yes.
So you did, in fact, kick her.
Yes.
And according to you, it was a little bit of an accident.
Yes, it was.
Maybe.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Anything else that you would consider sexual? What does that mean?
I was thinking.
Well, think harder.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 12-year-old Felicia Hunter says 11-year-old Devon Miller broke her foot while clowning around in a jumping apparatus.
How many times did she hit you? I'm not talking about playing around and pushing. I'm talking about hitting you.
About twice.
And how many times did she pull you off this other girl that you were on top of? Just once? Were you annoyed with her?
Kinda. I stopped playing with her.
But you were annoyed with her. Did you think she was acting like a jerk?
Yes.
Why did you think she was acting like a jerk?
Because I wasn't playing with her and she just started hitting me.
Because she was interfering. Is that right?
Yes.
So you thought she was butting into your business?
Yes.
I have a couple of other questions to ask you, Devon. So far, you've been very honest with me, which is in your favor. Were you saying anything to her about sleeping on your pillow?
No.
And did you say anything to her like
I
that?
didn't say anything to her. I told my cousin that she was my pillow.
Okay, but when you're playing, you're not whispering that to your cousin. You're sort of saying it loud, right?
Yes.
So she was right there, so she heard you. Devon, right?
Yes.
So far, you're doing okay, Devon. Don't let me down now. Did you say anything, Devon, about her having a soft part of her body?
No.
Nothing else about raping your pillow?
No.
Anything else that you would consider sexual?
No.
What? What does that mean?
I was thinking.
Well, think harder. You don't go to jail for this, Devon. This is just a time for honesty. Okay? So let's hear.
No.
Nothing else?
Nothing.
Did you say anything to anybody else there about her of a sexual nature?
No.
You knew her from before this party?
No.
Or was it the party the first time you ever saw her?
First time.
Really? Did you know the other kids at the party?
Not
Some of them?
everyone.
What did you think of her, Devon, when she first started to play with you?
I thought she wanted to play because we were all wrestling and she just started playing.
Now, Felicia, why did you go back into the jumping apparatus when you left and went and got a drink if it was unpleasant in there?
I didn't notice that he was in there.
I know what these things look like. Unless there are 50 people in there, then you notice somebody is in there. Or you look if somebody has made your life unpleasant.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Right.
You know, you're 12?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're smart enough. If somebody's made your life unpleasant in there, you look. You say, I'm not going back in there because those guys are acting a little too wild. Because they were all acting a little wild.
That wasn't my fault.
Right. Okay, now I'll see the moms. No, I want your kids to stay up there. If you can stand, can you stand up on your foot, Felicia?
I can't put any weight on it.
No, I mean, but can you stay with your mom?
Yeah.
Or you want to sit down?
I'll stay.
Okay. All right, so you got to the party, took her, she was x-rayed, foot is broken. This happened late August, is that right?
Right.
And you have substantial medical bills?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have health insurance?
Yes.
What were your unreimbursed medical bills?
Well, to date, Your Honor, our medical expenses are approximately $9,157.92. And I don't know if that is the extent of that.
$9,000 if you have medical insurance is not going to be your bill.
Well, yeah, that is the total. That's the total amount of bills that have come into the
It's not what I'm talking about, Ms.
Okay.
Hunter.
20. Okay,
You
I
have insurance.
That's correct.
And you are going to use your insurance because that's what insurance is for.
That's correct.
What kind of plan do you have?
20% of the contracted fees.
Mm-hmm.
Plus a $250 deductible.
Okay, let me see that, please.
Which, what, the bills?
I want to see the bills in your contract where it says that you're responsible for 20%.
Okay. Here are the bills. And this is a summary of our medical plan, and this is the plan that I'm under. I circled it.
Okay. So your office visits, you have the $10 copay, is that right, for your office visits?
Yes.
Okay, and the hospital, you have to pay 20% of your hospital bill.
Right.
So you had a hospital bill of $7,262, is that right?
That's correct.
And then you had orthopedic surgical?
Mm-hmm.
Was that done at the hospital or the doctor's office?
The doctor's office. That was for the cast.
Is your portion of that $10? You don't know that?
No.
I mean, there's a tremendous bill, but that's an entire bill.
Right.
It says doctor's office visits are $10. When did this happen?
August the 26th.
Well, did you submit these bills?
They've been submitted to the insurance company.
Have you paid any of these bills?
They have not paid.
No, have you paid any of the bills?
No, I have not been billed for them.
Your problem, Ms. Hunter, is as follows. You want the defendant's mother to be responsible for $5,000, and I have no idea of what your out-of-pocket expenses are going to be.
Well, I'm not suing. I know that my responsibility will probably not exceed $2,000. That's the 20% that I'm responsible for. Now, beyond that, I'm suing Ms. Mosley for punitive damages for what the injury that her son has caused my daughter.
No. Listen to me. There are certain things that children do that I believe that their parents knew or should have known that they had that kind of propensity, and they allowed the child to, for instance, have access to a weapon, have access to a gun, have access to a knife, have access to certain things, then they are responsible. When you send your child to a birthday party and they choose and elect, at your daughter's age, she's a big girl, she's 12 years old, to go into an apparatus where kids are acting like fools, 12-year-olds, they're jumping all over each other. According to your daughter, she was the one who first put her hands on him. I mean, other than in play. She didn't like the way he was on top of another girl. She dragged him off. She slapped him at one point. Now I'm absolutely certain that Devon, although he did a very stupid thing, didn't mean for your daughter to break her foot.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He put his hands on me and on my legs, and then he pushed towards me.
That's
and I
what
fell.
kids do in that thing. You stay there for a long time.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Felicia Hunter says she was harassed and assaulted by 11-year-old Devon Miller. She claims it resulted in a broken foot.
Now, Felicia.
Your Honor, I have something to say.
What?
Beginning when I first entered, he put his hands on me and on my legs, and then he pushed towards me.
That's
and I fell.
what kids do in that thing, Felicia. That's what you get in there for. You stay there for a long time. If you went in there and the kids were jumping around and pulling you down, at your age, you say, I don't like this kind of game. I'm going to go out and find something else to do with this birthday party if you didn't like that game. You know that. We're not playing pin the tail on a donkey here. You know, that's a nice quiet game that kids used to play. They don't play that anymore. Now they rent these big apparatus and kids go in there and they act like fools, but you're 12 years old. If it was getting too rough, you get yourself out of there. I'm not blaming you for breaking your foot, but I certainly don't believe that he intended to cause you to break your foot, or more importantly, that his mother had any notice or any knowledge that he was going to do something that day to injure somebody, and nor did she provide him with the apparatus to do it. You understand? If a parent, for instance, leaves a set of car keys in the car and leaves a 6-year-old in the car, and the 6-year-old manages to turn on the car and drive, and the car starts to roll and they injure somebody, then the parent is responsible for the action of the 6-year-old or the 8-year-old or the 10-year-old or the 12-year-old. But in this case, what proof do you have that this woman had any inkling that her son was going to do something like that?
Well, I don't, but she is responsible for the actions of her child.
Just a second. There you are right to this extent, Miss Hunter. There's no question that Devon here gave her a little nudge when she was getting out of the jumping station, right? You say it was an accident, you slipped on water. I'm not so sure, Devon.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I believe that Miss Mosley would be responsible for your unreimbursed medical bills. He caused the damage. Somebody's got to be responsible for out-of-pocket. And I believe that that should be Miss Mosley. But you don't know what your out-of-pocket is yet. We're going to do this. You wait until you get a statement as to what your insurance paid.
Okay.
Ms. Mosley, you will be responsible for any unreimbursed medical bills. I can tell you both that you should be able to handle this without coming back to court and say, here are my bills, here are the checks that I was given from the insurance company, here are the outstanding bills, you cover them.
Okay.
If you can't do that, I'll dismiss your case without prejudice. You can come back to me with the bills and I will order her to pay that. Do you understand? So let's be perfectly clear. You're suing for $5,000. There is no way that I am going to award you punitive damages against Miss Mosley because there is no indication that she knew her son would be involved with that kind of physical activity on that day. Okay. I do, however, believe, as I indicated, that between the two of you, you should not have any out-of-pocket expenses.
Okay.
Your daughter wasn't too smart. She's not blameless in this thing. She stayed there. She participated in the frivolity, right?
Yes.
She did put her hands on him.
Yes.
So I don't believe that either one of these two kids entered that arena that day intending that she end up with a broken foot and all that surgery that was required to make her whole again.
Okay.
So, do you want me to enter an order that, Miss Mosley, you will be responsible for any unreimbursed medical bills as they are presented to you?
Yes.
Good. That's all. We'll prepare an order that the defendant shall be responsible for any unreimbursed medical claims arising out of this incident.
Calendar in the matter of Griffin versus Moore.
Thank you, Bert.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
According to your complaint, you and the defendant met when I believe her husband and your son were incarcerated together.
Yes, ma'am.
Your complaint alleges that you developed a friendship and you allowed the defendant to charge certain items on your credit card with the agreement that she would repay you or pay the bill as it came in. Initially she did, then she stopped. And you allege that when she stopped paying, she owed you $842.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So when did you first meet the defendant?
I think approximately about a year ago. My son was incarcerated, and he was her husband's roommate. So we became good friends, and we would go shopping at the Avenue, and every time she would charge anything, she was so good about paying it. I mean, it was probably most of the time before it even became due. When my son got out of incarceration, she had a type of attraction to my son. It became almost impossible for me to have conversations with her because I did not want to be in the middle.
Your Honor, that's not the truth.
Just a second. And after a lot of harassing phone calls, I had asked to quit because I couldn't take it anymore. Then at that time, she refused to pay for what was left to be owed on my credit cards.
What was left?
This is the deposits of as far back as we started this. These are all that she's charged, all she's paid, what she owes is left.
So she paid on time until October?
Yes, ma'am, till the end of October.
Okay, now I'll hear you.
What she said is correct as far as our friendship. Her son was incarcerated with my husband. When things went bad was because her son had a drug problem. And I tried to help him.
Your Honor, this is irrelevant.
Just a second.
Her son asked me for a ride to the interstate. I took him to my house instead of the interstate. Miss Griffin got to my house before we did. Basically, her son had took a video camera from her. She had searched her son's coat. She pulled out the camera. So then she left, and her son was still there with me. I then took her son to his girlfriend that lived in Charleston, and that's when his mother, she turned against me. She told me our friendship was over because I tried to help her son.
What date was that?
Ma'am, to be honest with you, I'm not sure.
Okay. She says that you did not pay the October bill,
Ma'am,
which is $800.
I have a check.
Which is $800. Listen to me.
Okay.
Which is $846.05.
Yes, ma'am, I understand
the October
that.
bill. Okay, let me see.
And I'm not denying that there were credit card charges. There were. I have a check from State Street Bank that was given, that it was a 401k check that I received from my employer. I have a copy of the front and back of that check that I gave her permission to go get out of my post office box and endorse and deposit into her account. She gave me $368 back.
May I see it, please?
And I have it where she endorsed my name and her name on the back. That's not my signature. Because at the time I was on a medical leave, she knew that my money was a little tight. I told her to take the check to pay for the bills because I never missed paying her.
I'm just trying to find the date on this, when she endorsed it.
It was on 1027 on my, it's on I think the second or third page of my bank account statements, and you'll see right next to it where I cashed a check for the exact amount and gave it to Miss Moore at my home right in front of my husband. There'll be a witness to that.
Her husband has never been present.
Just
when
a second.
We've made any
Just a
charges or any money exchange.
Just a second. So what you're telling me, Miss Griffin, is that at the time your friendship was coming to an end, the defendant gave you a check, which you did in fact cash, in the amount of $1,012.99.
Yes, ma'am.
And you gave her the entire amount of money.
Yes, ma'am.
Doesn't make sense to me, Miss Griffin.
That weekend, Miss Moore came to my house.
Yeah.
I gave her the full amount of cash, handed it to her.
Right.
She said she wanted to give me $300 because she had a rainbow rental or something that was pressing and had to be paid. And she said when she got her check on Tuesday...
Let me see the rest of her papers, please.
When she got the rest of her check on Tuesday, that she would take care of the rest of it.
Your Honor, I could have...
And the whole time Miss Moore was out on disability...
Just a second.
I could have cashed that check myself.
I cashed her check because she did not have a bank account at that time. I took care of things for her. She had some drug problem, and she tried to commit suicide.
Not interested in that.
Well,
Your
I mean,
Honor,
I
that
was
is
there
not true.
taking
I
care
have
of her. I didn't want to turn my back on her.
Your Honor, that is...
Were there any witnesses present to the transfer of this $1,012 to Miss Moore
My
on the
husband,
27th?
Michael Griffin, was there.
See here?
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
Honor, he was never
Michael.
present during any of these things.
Just a second.
It was just me and her.
Go ahead.
Mrs. Moore wanted to meet with my wife at our home because whoever she was seeing for therapeutic reasons told her to come to closure between Kevin and Nancy. And I was standing right there in my bedroom. She was sitting in the blue chair to the left of my bed when Nancy handed her $1,012 and change, and Rebecca handed her back $300 to redeposit in Nancy's account.
No, ma'am, that is not true. Mr. Griffin was never
Now,
present
just a
during
second.
any of these transactions.
Just a second. I don't see whether she was given credit for the $300.
On the first page, every deposit that she made to me is on the left. Every bill that I wrote to the Avenue or any of my other credit cards
So is what you're telling
to the right.
Is what you're telling me that at the time she made these purchases in October, she still had an outstanding bill to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, also Mrs. Griffin shopped along with me, and she had stuff on that bill as well, where our stuff was added together and not separately.
That's wrong, Your Honor. If you look at my receipts, I've been very careful, and she had one receipt, and I had one receipt.
Always a big mistake.
Your Honor, and
you know, you understand this is always a big mistake to do.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. Miss Griffin, who it appears over an extended period of time, had been very good to you financially by allowing you to make these purchases when you didn't have the cash to do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Would all of a sudden say that you have an outstanding bill to her of $846 when you didn't?
Your Honor, like I said, when our friendship separated, it was due to the fact that her son stole from me and he went to jail for a drug charge.
That's untrue, Your
And
Honor.
I have the police report here. That's when mine and her friendship went sour, because her son came to me, he asked me for help. He spent 3 days at my home when she didn't know where he was. When I told her that he had been at my home, she got very upset with me for not contacting her.
What date was that?
It was before Halloween.
11/3.
So it was after this?
No, this was the weekend prior to 11/3.
Was it before or after the $1,000 check was cashed by the plaintiff?
This was after.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. We were still very much a part of each other's lives at that time. She had continued to call. I said, please do not call me anymore. I got so upset that I wound up in the hospital on her last phone call.
Okay.
Your Honor,
I believe you, sir. Listen to me. I believe you, sir, when you indicate that $1,012 was passed. Were you present when $300 was given to your wife?
Yes, Your Honor.
How was that given?
In cash.
$100 bill?
Rebecca, pardon me, Your Honor. Rebecca handed back cash, $300 cash to Nancy.
Not true, Your Honor. That is not true. And I have somebody
You have
here
your
with-
bank records with you?
No, because at the time I did not have a bank account. She was correct about that. I did not have a bank account. But I could have cashed that check myself through my employer's bank.
But you didn't.
But I always cash
You
my
didn't.
checks by myself. She
You
never
said
did
you
it
had a
before.
witness. I'll hear your witness if your witness has anything germane. If he does.
Yes,
What is your
ma'am.
name?
Alan Young. I've been a friend of Rebecca's for 15 years. Rebecca asked me would I give her a loan of $300 because she owed Mrs. Griffith some money. She borrowed money from me that night because she said she had to pay on her rent or something. So I kind of believed her.
What is your rent, Miss Moore?
$385.
Well, even if she took all the money she owed you, you still had the $300 for rent.
I understand
So why did
that.
you need to borrow money from him for?
Because I had additional bills that I owed for besides paying her. But I wanted to pay her and have her out of the way because I always paid her before the bills were due.
Do you have the statement from your account, Miss Griffin, as to what payments you made on the account in November?
Yes, ma'am, that would be right. And those payments there, I'll be glad
I
to
see.
show
You
them to
made a deposit on the 30th of October.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, she was paid in full when she received that check.
No, ma'am, I was not.
Yes, you were.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so because I see no other basis for her depositing only $300 into her checking account on the 30th
Well, Your
of
Honor,
October.
I can't help if that's the only thing she deposited. She was paid.
I have to make a determination based upon evidence. The evidence indicates that on or about the time that that check was cashed, she did deposit $300 into her account. So I'm entering a judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $842. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Jail Monday.
She is married, and at the time I had a fiance.
I lost a friendship on kind of her son's drug problem.
She knew that, and she was still coming on to me.
She can't rule everybody.
And now the next case.
All parties on Gregorian versus Scuturio. Step forward, please.
23-year-old cashier Mariam Gregorian is suing former live-in boyfriend, 23-year-old salesman Scott Scuturio, for his share of a security deposit. Scott is countersuing for the cost to rent a U-Haul, storage costs, and harassment.
Ms. Gregorian, you and the defendant lived together. Were you boyfriend and girlfriend at the time? According to your complaint, you had an arrangement with the defendant that since he had no money, you would put down the security deposit on the apartment, and he was to reimburse you for half.
For half, yes.
And half of the security deposit was $600?
Yes.
And you also say that the time that you left the apartment, because he was threatening, you gave him an additional $200.
For April's month's rent, yes.
So he says that you actually owe him money because he was forced, as a result of your leaving, to hire a U-Hauler to take all of his furniture out. Is that right?
Correct.
And that was not the agreement that you were going to reimburse her for half of the security deposit. Your agreement was she would pay for the security deposit, first, last, etc., and you would pay for the household furnishings and all of the household appliances.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
When did you move in together?
We moved in February 1st together.
And when did you leave the apartment?
April 2nd.
And you would have an argument at that time?
Yes, we did.
Okay. So you were ready to call it quits, and you were ready to call it quits, I assume.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
Now, you agree that she did put down this $1,200.
The $1,200, correct.
And to fulfill your part of the obligation, you purchased all the furniture.
Correct.
And you purchased all the appliances.
Correct.
In the U-Haul that you hired, did you put all the furniture?
Yes.
And did you put all the appliances that you purchased?
Yes.
Did she take any of the furniture?
No.
Did she take any of the appliances?
No, ma'am.
Well, so then let's understand this. On the one side, she put down the $1,200. You purchased all the stuff, but you have all the stuff,
Correct.
right? She's out the $1,200, including half that should be yours, right?
No, because that wasn't the agreement.
Well, the understanding was that if she put down, according to you, that if she put down the $1,200, your capital contribution to the apartment would be, I assume, purchasing furniture and appliances about the same amount of money, $1,200.
Correct.
Did you spend $1,200?
About that, maybe a little more.
But you have it. You didn't say to her, I'll give you half, right?
Correct.
Why not?
Because
Because the agreement was before we even took the apartment that if anything should happen to the relationship, that we would at least stay as roommates in the apartment.
Nobody stays on as roommates. That's stupid. In any event, sir, I don't believe you had that conversation. So what I'm asking you is let's talk about money. Let's say you spent $1,200 on furniture appliances. She spent $1,200, right? Each of you should be out $600. That's math. I'm not really good at math. But am I making myself clear to you, Bird?
Very.
Right. So you got $1,200 worth of furniture and appliances. That's on your side. But you kept it. Now, you want to give her $600, you want to give her half the furniture?
I'm not going to give her half the furniture.
So that's $600 for you. Now tell me about this $200.
The $200 was April 2nd when I left. He told me I owe him April's rent. And I felt that I didn't need to because it was April 2nd. It wasn't a complete month yet. I didn't need to give him anything.
But you did?
But I did because at the time that he had a spare key to my car and he told me that he would hide my car if he needed to until I gave him the money. And I took the $200 and I basically threw it at him.
So, cheap price, $200. You don't get that back. You get your $6 because I believe that that was your agreement. Now, you hired a U-Haul it. Why didn't you stay in the apartment?
Because due to her leaving, I mean, I couldn't afford the apartment on my own.
Well, just a minute. How much was the rent?
$600 a month.
And she had already given you $2 for April.
She had not given me $2 for April. During the argument, she actually opened her closet, which she already had her stuff packed, and just left.
She didn't give you an additional $200?
No, I left the apartment before she even finished taking her stuff out.
Really?
Your Honor, that's not true because we were fighting and there was a person on the phone. He was speaking to his mother and a friend of his, telling them how I started out being a psychopath. He sat there and watched me leave and pack up.
What date did you move out?
I believe it was the first week in May.
You stayed for the entire month of April.
Yes.
So you lived there. She didn't, right?
Correct.
So you pay for it. And then you had to move because of the rent. Where did you move to?
I'm actually staying with my sister right now.
Okay, you paying any rent there?
No.
Well, look at it this way. You spent $300 for a U-Haul.
Approximately, yes.
That would have been your share of the $300 worth of rent, right?
Correct.
And you couldn't afford the apartment anyway, right? So, and you got all that nice furniture. So what are you complaining about?
Your Honor, can I say something?
No, I want to ask him I want to find out what he's complaining about.
Actually, what I'm complaining about is, Your Honor, she stated in the police report, actually, when she filed for court, that I threatened her life and I threatened to do her harm. She actually, I have mail here, which she had actually forwarded to my sister's address. If I was threatening her life, I don't understand why she would forward mail to my sister's address where she knows that I go, when I also have police reports stating that they heard messages of her threatening to kill me, etc., etc.
Well, let me see the letter that you have, sir. I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but let me take a look at it.
I forwarded the mail to his sister's address because at the time when I had nowhere to go, she offered to take me in. That's why I did it.
Whatever. It's really not dispositive of anything. All right, you owe $600. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. That's all.
Vice Stewart. Vice have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat.
All right, let's see how quickly we can do this. Ms. Arell, according to you, the defendant is your ex-boyfriend.
Correct.
And he owes you some money. I did the math. I don't quite see where you come up to $5,000. I'm sure you're going to try to explain that to me. The money comes from two sources. One, you claim that you went on a vacation together, and he was supposed to pay you for at least half of the vacation, or the whole vacation. And he never did. The vacation, according to you, was under $1,000.
Correct.
And the second thing was a loan that you made to him for some furniture for his new apartment. That was $190.
Correct.
Tell me about the trip. When did you take it?
We went on May 22nd of 2000.
Okay, what were the circumstances surrounding the trip?
He was just beginning a new job. He was supposed to start the following week. We had some time off. He had told me that for many, many years during his childhood, he had wanted to go to Disneyland. He had never gotten the chance to go, and we would like to go, with the understanding that since...
No understanding.
Okay.
He would like to go on the trip.
Correct.
I want to hear your version of the conversation. No
Okay.
I don't want to hear your understanding.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He did not have the front money to go on the vacation, but if I would agree, I agreed to put it on a credit card, in which case there was a payment plan and that it would all be paid back in the next year.
He said that to you?
Correct.
You got your bill from your credit card?
Yes.
How much was the total trip?
The trip alone, $960.
Did you show him the bill?
I did.
And what did he say?
He said no problem. He began his payments, and it was
How many
actually
payments
fine.
did he? How many payments did he make?
He made 2 payments directly on his paid dates.
How much?
The very first one was $40. He followed with $20.
So according to you, he paid $60 in total.
There was another $20 payment weeks later. There was $80 total.
Okay. So he's making these small payments, and now tell me about the furniture.
We had previously, prior to the
Were
trip.
you living together at the time?
No, we were not.
Okay.
At that time, a couple weeks after we returned from vacation, he did have to leave the residence where he was staying with a family member. And he stayed at my house just for a couple of weeks until he did find his own residence.
And?
And he had come here from very far out of state when he had originally moved here. He hadn't acquired many things other than a bed and such. And being that I had no point to distrust him at that time, I did agree to buy a few things for the apartment for him.
How much did you spend?
It was just under $200.
What do you mean just under $200?
It was the credit card totals of $191.
And he wasn't working at the time?
He was working at the time.
So why didn't he pay for those things himself?
He didn't have any money saved up, and he had made a few payments to me.
Paid $40,
He just had to pay
$20, $28?
Had to pay rent to get into a new place, too.
Okay. So far, if everything that you say is accurate,
yes,
it's $191 plus $880.
Okay.
$1,071. So you want to explain to me why we have a lawsuit for $5,000?
Absolutely. There were other very small charges. His pet was hit by a car, had to have emergency surgery, veterinary clinic, needed payment to receive the animal back, things like that, that I did put on. That was just prior to the trip. That was May 2nd. The unfortunate thing is that I had one credit card at the time, and we used that for the entire vacation, and due to the fact that it was in 2000, because of non-payment, I've had interest for over 2 years on a credit card.
Should have paid it off.
Which he agreed to.
You should have paid it off.
You're right.
Right.
If I had the money, I would. You're right.
Shouldn't have gone on the trip if you didn't have the money. He didn't have the money, you didn't have the money, then you don't go to Disneyland. You don't go to Fantasyland if you don't have, neither one of you have the money.
It's difficult to turn down a somewhat free vacation with someone that you do trust. I did trust him very much.
No. Listen to me.
Okay.
When did you meet him?
January.
You met him in January.
Yes.
You're going away in May.
Correct.
Right? January, February, March, April, May. Did he have a job in January?
The entire time, yes.
He had a job in February?
Correct.
March?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
So why didn't he have any money? You told me he was living with relatives.
That was kind of the problem. He never seemed to have any money.
Well, then I don't know. I would begin to scratch my head if I were an intelligent girl.
I did shortly thereafter.
Well, you do it shortly before you expend money.
You're right.
I mean, you wanted to trust him. The fact that you wanted to trust him doesn't mean that you had any cause to trust him.
Right. We had a rapport built up. He'd borrowed very small amounts in the past, and he paid them back immediately. I had a lot of trust in him at the time.
Well, so then maybe if he borrowed small amounts, he paid them back immediately. Maybe his answer to your lawsuit has some validity. Mr. Stewart, what's your answer, sir?
Your Honor, I'm sorry. Yeah, we went on this vacation. All right, we started going out on Valentine's Day that February. It was supposed to be like a gift to me. Okay.
Why would you make a gift of a trip to you?
Well, Your Honor.
Don't be an actress, please.
Okay.
Your Honor, I love her very much. All right, and I think she felt the same way back to me. And I thought it was just, she knew I was getting stressed out at my job. She was getting stressed out, and she told me it was the happiest place on earth. So, so we decided.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I mean, I just have a hard time seeing how, a $400 trip to Disneyland has accumulated to $5,000.
It hasn't.
Okay.
Only in her mind. Only in the fantasy of her own mind.
And later today.
I had a lady from Protective Services show up at my door. There had been a conflict at their home, and I was under the impression Teresa was hit, and that's why she came to stay with me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kimberly Orell says ex-boyfriend Robert Stewart owes for an IKEA shopping spree and for his share of a trip to Disneyland. Robert says Disneyland was a Valentine's gift.
Why didn't you have any money to go?
I just relocated to Oregon, and I guess I just really don't know how to manage my money that well, especially at the time. And
were you using drugs?
No, ma'am.
Well, if you were working, you were living with relatives.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And you weren't spending a lot of money on the plaintiff. What were you doing with your money?
Well, I really wasn't making that much money at the.
What kind
in the
of
first
work were you
place.
doing?
We worked at a detox detention center together. I didn't
Were you
really-
working 2 jobs at the time?
Shh, I don't speak to him. All right. Let us say that the two of you should not have gone on this vacation together if neither of you had the money. So let's say you split this vacation.
Well, in that case, Your Honor, I mean, I would say that if you did have an agreement like that, it would be a $400 trip. And we got back, and she was having a hard time paying her credit card. I gave her almost $400 to help her out with her credit card in the first place.
Did you?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have any proof of that?
No, I don't.
When did you give her $400? So she said
It
you
was
gave
just
her 80.
it was just over a period of time. Like I give her $50 here, $50 there.
Really?
I mean,
Do
just
you
to help her
remember?
out.
You remember all those times, Mr. Stewart?
Yes, ma'am.
You got a pretty good memory.
Well, it's just, I mean, $400, that's not that many payments of $50.
Is it cash or checks?
It was cash.
Are you speaking to him?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I mean, I just have a hard time seeing how, you know, a $400 trip to Disneyland has accumulated to $5,000.
It hasn't.
Okay.
Only in her mind. Only in the fantasy of her own mind.
Okay.
All right. We talk about furniture. You're talking about pots, pans, teacups. What about that?
Your Honor, most of this stuff, she was staying with relatives at the time as well. And she asked me to hold on to it at her place because she had it in storage. I had it in my place. As soon as we broke up, I helped load it up in her car for her, and she took it all back.
What about stuff she bought? Do you know?
She bought a couple of things like plates and such, and, you know, we got it from like one of those dollar stores where they sell plates, you know. And I mean, she did buy stuff for me, but I was under the impression it was a gift. You know,
Did you ever tell her that you're going to pay her back for it?
No, ma'am. There was
I
no
don't
meeting
believe
of the
that you did
minds.
either.
Ma'am, I have a witness also.
I'll hear you witness.
Okay, thank you.
Tell me your name.
Heather Walker.
All right, Miss Walker, tell me what you know.
I witnessed a conversation at my home between Mr. Stewart and Kimberly, where he very clearly stated that he knew he owed her a large amount of money. He was going to pay her.
Well, tell me about when that happened and under what circumstances.
It would have been about a week after my birthday of that year because Kimberly and I weren't able to be together.
When's your birthday?
July 11th.
Okay, so in July, you witnessed a conversation. Tell me what you best recall of the conversation.
That they'd visited for about a half an hour. They were going to leave and go to a restaurant. Mr. Stewart said that he did not have cash on him and would Kimberly mind paying for this, whatever they had eaten, and he promised to pay her back.
Now, what did he say? He said, I'll pay you back.
He said, I will pay you back.
I'll pay
If
you back.
Yeah, I'll give you your money back. She made sort of a sarcastic remark about like the other money that you paid me back.
Right.
That's about the end of the conversation, but except for he got a little bit defensive because I asked him why he hadn't been paying. He said, you know what, I don't want to fight about this. Kimberly's already been giving me some guff about it, and I will pay her back.
And did they go out for dinner?
Yes.
And I assume you paid? Right?
Yes.
No, I don't recall that conversation at all.
I don't recall you paying me $400.
Listen to me. Don't speak to him. Okay. If you wanted to speak to him, you shouldn't come here.
Can I submit a few things to you?
I'm not interested in the few things that you want to submit to me, madam. Let me explain something to you. You had a romance that ended 2 years ago.
Yes.
Put a period and move on.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
Do you see your daughter, Teresa?
No, Your Honor.
Why not?
Well, she lived on bad terms, and until she gets her act together, Your Honor, I don't want her in my house because she's a danger.
How's she behaving in your house?
She's a handful.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kimberly Orell says ex-boyfriend Robert Stewart owes for an IKEA shopping spree and for his share of a trip to Disneyland. Robert says Disneyland was a Valentine's gift.
I believe that if the two of you took a stupid vacation together when neither one of you could afford to go on a vacation, the two of you ought to pay for it. I do not believe, Mr. Stewart, and even if I tended to believe that you gave her more money than you said, you had no proof that you gave her more money than you said you gave her because, according to you, she said to you, let's go on this wonderful trip together. You don't go on a trip if you can't afford it. So you have to pay for half the trip, $480, and I give you credit, sir, for the $80 that she says that you paid her back, which means that you owe her $400. Then we get to the quote-unquote furniture. I get the sense that you wanted to help furnish this little apartment for him so that he would be comfortable. Certainly, even if I believe you, and based upon what I've just calculated, I did, he owed you, according to you, $960. So he makes a $20 payment on $960, and you don't look like an unintelligent young lady. He had promised, according to you, to pay the whole thing back in a year. Well, if he makes $20 payments a month, that's going to take him a lot longer than a year to pay off $960. Well, then you're still going out for dinner with him, and according to your witness, still paying the bill. All not very smart. When your head is ruled by your heart, sometimes you do foolish things. And all I can suggest to you, Miss Arell, is that you put a period and move on. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $400. That's all.
Why did that excuse when they step out?
I think it's pretty bad that, you have to go to court to solve some problems that can be solved at home.
Let this be a lesson to people. Don't ever lend anyone money. They'll twist it and turn it. And it's just going to be a bad situation either way.
There was no money owed, so there's no payments to be made.
Don't lend money to your firstborn. It doesn't matter who it is. Don't do it. You'll get hurt.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hill versus Pito. Step forward, please.
Food clerk Lori Hill is suing her ex-husband, maintenance technician Dennis Pito, for the return of child support. Dennis says Lori still owes him for an unpaid medical bill.
Ms. Hill, you and the defendant have 2 children together, 2 daughters.
That's correct.
And according to your complaint, both of the girls were living with the defendant. Was that by court order?
Yes.
How long had the children been living with the defendant?
About 8 years.
And how old are they?
15 and 12.
What are their names? 15-year-old.
Teresa and Amy.
You were ordered to pay child support to the defendant for the 2 girls.
That's correct.
According to your complaint, there came a time when one of the girls came to live with you, and there was an agreement that since there is sometimes a lag in the accounting through the court, that any money that you paid after your older daughter Teresa came to live with you would be returned to you. It is your claim that Mr. Pito owes you $303. Mr. Pito says that you actually, despite the fact he doesn't have a counterclaim, owe him for a medical bill for one of the girls. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
Okay. The children had been living with Mr. Pito for 8 years. Did you have visitation with the girls?
Yes.
And under what circumstances did Teresa come to live with you?
I had a lady from Protective Services show up at my door. There had been a conflict at their home, and I was under the impression Teresa was hit, and that's why she came to stay with me.
What was the amount of the support that you were paying for the 2 girls?
$102 weekly.
How long had you been paying child support?
For the whole time that he had
the whole
8
years,
yes.
Did you have a discussion with Mr. Pito with regard to the child support when Teresa came to live with you?
Yes, when he dropped her stuff off at my home, he had this paper for us to sign.
May I see it, please? Thank you. Okay. You say you'll waive the $104 in child support. That means that each of you was going to take care of 1 child, and there would be no support paid by either one. Is that right?
That's right.
And that is dated 12/4/01. Was any money taken out of your check after the 4th of December?
Yes, I have all my...
Is that the $303?
Yes.
Do you acknowledge, Mr. Pito, and let's not get to the medical yet, that the plaintiff paid child support beyond whatever these debts are of $303 that you received after December 4th?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay. Now tell me why you think that you shouldn't have to give that back to her.
Well, Your Honor, when I made that agreement with her, after that, I realized there were still pending medical bills from when Amy had her asthma attack on September 2000, and there was a $1,700 bill. And at that time, she was still required to pay 36% of that $1,700. And after talking to the medical staff that was billing me, she told me that most of it might be taken care of, but at the very least, there's still going to be a $212 balance.
What do you mean most of it was going to be taken care of? What does that mean?
Well, because between her insurance and my insurance, they're trying to see who's the primary and who's the secondary. And before that's settled, and when I have to pay the bill, I want to make sure that she doesn't have any more outstanding bills.
So what you're saying is you signed this document, and afterwards you realized that there may be some money owing for a 2-year-old medical bill because the insurance hasn't been sorted out yet. Is that right?
That's right.
Mr. Pito, when you get your act together with regard to how much money you think Ms. Hill owes you, and all the insurance claims have been submitted and ultimately resolved, you have the ability to go in and file a claim against her if she still owes you any money. In the meantime, you have to return the $303 that you accepted from her after you signed this document indicating that you would not be taking any money from her, she would not be asking you for any money, you were both going to assume full financial responsibility for each of the girls that were in your custody. Okay? Now, that's easy. Do you see your daughter, Teresa?
No, Your Honor.
Why not?
Well, she lived on bad terms, and until she gets her act together, Your Honor, I don't want her in my house because she's a danger.
She's 15 years old. How's she behaving in your house?
She's a handful.
She's a handful.
Yes, she is.
Got a feeling that you got the easier end of the bargain at this point. Is that right?
Your Honor, I've had custody for those girls for 8 years. And
versus Henry. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Ms. Olivencia, it is your claim that the defendant, who you hardly knew if you knew at all, on 2 separate occasions assaulted you and attacked your car. For some reason, you are only suing for the attack on your car. The defendant says it was you who assaulted her and her car, but you have no counterclaim. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, where did this happen? The first time?
First time it happened on May 11th at the Worcester County jail.
At a jail. What were you doing there?
I went to go drop off my friend Janika at 6 o'clock, and I went to pick her up at 8.
What was she doing there?
She went to go see her boyfriend.
Had you ever seen the defendant before May 11th?
I've seen her like 2 times.
Did you ever speak to her?
Never.
Okay. So did this initial assault occur on the way going to the jail or when you went to pick up your friend?
When I went to go pick her up.
Who was with you?
My cousin Maria was with me and her daughter.
And now you can tell me what happened.
Okay, I was sitting in the car waiting for her, for Janika to come out. Stephanie Henry then comes out of the jail and approached me, started yelling, cursing at me. Anyways, I noticed she was getting hostile, so I turned on my car and I was going to turn around to go, and that's when she pulled my hair, started slapping me.
How did she pull your hair?
How did she pull my hair? From this side. She approached me. I was in my car.
And the window was open?
The window was open, yep.
So she came and she pulled your hair. What else?
I was sitting in the car, she pulled my hair, and I tried to get her away from me. My cousin was screaming. The correctional officers came outside. They ran outside. They tried to separate us. At that point,
How did they try to separate you? Were you still in the car?
I was still in the car, yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, they tried to separate her because she was holding on to me. So then she runs to the car and kicks my headlight and breaks it. And they witnessed that. They banned us from being there ever again. And we just went home.
You have a report from them?
I have a report from the Worcester Police Department.
May I see it? What's this blackened out part?
Well, because they don't let me see what where she lives, or the police station did that.
This says that you talked about a group of males that surrounded your minivan.
That was afterwards.
Was that at a different location?
Different location.
Okay. Because I know there were 2 incidents. All right, so after she was separated from your car and she kicked your headlight in, did she leave or did you leave?
I left.
And your friend, did you wait for your friend?
She never came out.
All right, Miss Henry, you want to tell me about this incident?
Yes, Your Honor. I was coming out of the administration building like everybody has to do. You leave out of the administration building. I was standing there holding my 1-year-old son in my left hand, okay? I was waiting for my son's godfather to come pick me up. I was standing there. A woman walked by me. I did not have any cigarettes on me at the moment, so a woman handed me a cigarette. I was smoking a cigarette with my right hand and had my son in the left.
That's nice.
I noticed Miss Olivencia walk in the building. I noticed they came out and went into the car with another girl and a young child. Then I noticed she came out of the car and went back into the building. I don't know, I assume it was to look for Miss Cruz, but she went back in the building, she came back out, she got in the car. She proceeded to drive away. Okay, at this moment, I'm standing there smoking a cigarette, holding my son. I flick the ash on my cigarette. She reverses, does a 3-point turn, comes back, and says, "Excuse me, what was that?" A curse word. And I said, "Excuse me, I don't know you, and I have never met you before, and if I had something to say to you, I would address you and let you know." Therefore, I'm holding my son, drive away and have a nice day. I spoke to her nicely the first time. She started cursing at me, calling me these rude names, talking about she knows who I am, she knows where I live. I'm like, well, I have no idea who you are. I've never seen you before in my life. She then steps out of her automobile, comes over to me, approaches me with my child in my left hand, I remind you, and she's pointing in my face, and I'm like, you need to get in your car and drive away because I don't know you and I'm holding my son. And I don't play around like that with a baby in my hands. She kept cursing. She proceeded to get back in her automobile. As she was doing so, she grabbed my hair. I have a scratch right here. Unfortunately, Your Honor, I was unable to have my pictures developed to bring them here. For my evidence, I had a bruise on my knee, on my right knee, from the fact that when she had grabbed me by my hair and pulled me towards the car, my knee was hitting her door because she was pulling me. And of course, I'm going to defend myself with my child in my hands. And I'm going to try to get away because at this point, I didn't know if she was going to try to drive off while I'm holding my son. Okay? No correctional officers came out and broke anything up. She drove off after she had let go of my hair. And she went to turn again, and as she turned again, because you can't go to a certain point in a restricted area, you have to turn back and go out of the parking lot. She turned again, she came at me to try to hit me with my child. So I'm defending myself, moving out of the way, and as I move out of the way, my foot kicked her blinker, the tail light. I have a report from the Worcester County House of Correction saying that she did not care about the blinker, she didn't want to press any charges at that time, and that was the end of that. And I remind you, Your Honor, she was saying that she knew where I lived and that she would be there. Okay?
Ms. Olivencia, you indicated to me that your friend here, who you had dropped off in the morning, did not come out. That's what you just indicated to me, correct?
I dropped her off in the evening, 6 o'clock.
Or in the evening, and then went back to pick her up, and you said she...
And she did not come out.
Yep. Well, this report indicates that the one involved party was leaving in a gray Toyota, and the other party was standing in front of the administration building. I assume that was you.
Yes, ma'am.
Stop the gray Toyota. Is your car gray?
My car is like a tan.
What's your license plate number? That's the tag number. Bearing Massachusetts tags. And identify the operator as Rebecca Olivencia. That's you. A passenger in the vehicle was identified as Janika Cruz.
That is wrong, because my cousin was with me. And they took my cousin's ID. And they also know that Janika, yes, she did go
Just a
at
second.
6 o'clock.
Just a second. That's what the detective wrote, that the passenger in the car was identified as Janika Cruz. Step up here. Then he goes on to give me a whole story here about something about a boyfriend. Who were you there to visit?
I was visiting my boyfriend, my daughter's father.
What's his name?
Victor.
Do you know Victor?
He's a neighbor of mine.
Anything other than a neighbor?
No, well, he was. He can't remain in that building either.
Was he ever a boyfriend of yours?
No, Miss...
Was he ever a boyfriend?
No, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Did you ever go out with him?
No, ma'am.
But you know him?
Yep.
So the connection between the two of you is through her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Stephanie shows up in a car full of guys telling me to get out. They looked like they wanted to fight me. So then one of them puts on a bandana around his face. And then he started like putting his hand in his pocket like if he had something, like a gun or something.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rebecca Olivencia says her car was damaged during a fight with Stephanie Henry. Stephanie says she kicked the car because Rebecca wouldn't let go of her hair.
You knew her from this person who was never your boyfriend, who you
No,
never
we know
dated.
each other from her boyfriend, which is now my ex-boyfriend.
Ah, well, so we have somebody else.
Which is her boyfriend or her fiance.
Who used to be your boyfriend?
Used to be my boyfriend about going on 3 years ago.
And did you like each other before this happened?
We didn't know each other. We met each other one time, and then from there we just couldn't get along. We fought when I was 6 months pregnant.
Who fought?
Me and Stephanie. From there we didn't get along, whatever.
Did you know about this fight that they had?
I had no idea about it.
How long have you known her?
I've known her for a couple of years now.
How long is a couple?
About 2-3 years.
And when was this fight while you were pregnant?
1999. No, year 2000. Year 2000. I was 6 months.
Before this incident happened in May?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you were friends, you mean she didn't tell you that she was assaulted?
No, because we're not always together. We're not
She didn't
best
tell you
friends.
that she was assaulted?
No. I never knew about it.
That's unusual. This also says, Miss Olivencia, that you told the detective there that you did not wish to pursue the matter any further and did not care about the broken headlight.
That is not true. I never even spoke to that detective, as a matter of fact.
Olivencia states that she was attacked first by Henry, that's you, and didn't know who Henry was. She said that they just pulled each other's hair and exchanged words. Well, that's true. So there were a lot of things, according to you, that are wrong in here. Okay, now let's hear about the second assault.
Okay, the second assault happened after Janika asked me to go bring her to pick up her daughter.
Give me the date.
That was the same day. That was probably a half an hour later.
Okay.
I had told Janika, well, I don't know if I should go over there, but seeing that she's my friend and I was doing her a favor, to Piedmont Street, which is where she lives and which is where her daughter was at the grandmother's house.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I get there, and Janika steps out of the car, and then she shows up, Stephanie shows up in a car full of guys, like 4 guys. They all jump out of the car. They start cursing at me to get out of the car. I lock my doors. I roll my windows up. I told Janika, get in the car, because these people are getting crazy. Anyways, the guys are yelling at me, telling me to get out. It looked like they wanted to fight me. So then one of them puts on a bandana around his face. And the only thing showing was his eyes. And then he started like putting his hand in his pocket, like if he had some, like a gun or something. Anyways, my cousin started going nuts. She started screaming. She was making me nervous. I told Janika, get in the car. Janika wouldn't get in the car. She was trying to talk to them. And I just took off. When I was taking off, she ran to my car and she kicked the side of my door. And I drove right to the police station and I told them about it, and that's when I seen the damages that she did to the door.
I'll hear you.
Okay, Your Honor. Can I continue with the ending? Okay. Like I said, after she let go of my hand, she pursued to try to hit me with my child. And she turned around and tried to go.
You told me that. You told me that you were protecting yourself and you kicked it in her taillight.
Yes,
wait,
ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead.
And as she was driving off, like I said, her friend, the passenger, her cousin, she claims, threw a large amount of hair out the window and said, "Here's your hair, B," calling me the B word, and drove off. Okay. Then after that, one CO came over to me. He asked me for my identification, to look for warrants, to check our records and everything, and then they had pulled her over and they were speaking with her down the street. Okay. My son's godfather had came and picked me up with his friend. Okay. And they brought me home, and by the time I got to my apartment building on Piedmont Street, Miss Cruz, Miss Olivencia, her cousin, and some black, I don't know who the black female was surrounded my neighbor, who is a friend of mine who also was going to be a witness, appeared here. They surrounded her with her 7-year-old son behind her.
Why, you saw this?
No, as we pulled up, we seen them, yes, and they all
You just want to tell me what you saw.
As we pulled up, we seen all 4 of the girls surrounded my friend, my neighbor, with her son with her, and as we pulled up, my son's godfather jumped out of the car and he said, "Who tried to attack Stephanie holding her son?" And I told him it was the driver, and he said, "Get out of the car. Why did you try to attack her holding the child?" We wanted to call the police and hold her there because she was at my place of residence, and Miss Cruz does not belong there either. I have no trespassing on her.
So according to you, one of your friends, went up to her and told her that she had no business being around your neighborhood.
Exactly.
Your block. And then what happened?
And there were 2 other neighbors that had came up from the neighborhood. And Miss Olivencia was cursing at one of them, calling him stupid, and saying things to the person, and he got
And where
very
was she,
upset.
sitting or standing? When
She was in her
calling
car with her window down a little.
Okay. Go
And
ahead.
she was telling him, "Shut up," he was stupid, cursing at him, and he was the one that damaged her car. I don't know who, he's a neighbor, he lives in the neighborhood, I don't know his last name. I spoke with Janika Cruz about this. She said she didn't want any involvement in this. I said, well, I don't know who they were, because she said that Mrs. Olivencia wanted it for her insurance company. And I said, well, I don't know who those 2 men were, because they were from the neighborhood. They were trying to help my other witness that was there, the girl that they surrounded that they tried to jump. They came out and they tried to stop them from jumping her.
She wasn't jumping anybody. She was in her car with the window rolled
Before
up.
she got into the car, Your Honor?
But then she was in the car.
Yes, but
then
before
just listen to me. But then she was in the car. When she's in her car, she's not surrounding anybody.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Whatever you did to each other in that parking lot, or whether you started to pull her hair, you went to her house. And that was stupid.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rebecca Olivencia claims Stephanie Henry kicked her car during a fight outside of a men's prison.
You say you have a restraining order against her? Let me see it. So, Miss Cruz, there is a no trespass order against you for this housing complex.
Yes, there is.
So what were you doing there on May 11th?
She did that. I got that trespassing notice after the fact, and I called Stephanie back up, and she said, yes, I did it because of my boyfriend. Told her.
Just a second. When were you served with this notice?
I was served with that notice May 18th.
Afterwards?
Afterwards, after the fact.
You have any proof she was served with this notice before? It doesn't have a date on it.
No, Your Honor. They were waiting to serve that to her. They didn't know her location.
So they didn't serve it on her before May 11th?
No, they had it already for her.
Now, were either of you arrested as a result of these incidents?
No, ma'am. No.
Did either of you file criminal complaints against the other?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I went right to the police station and I told
And
them
so
what
you
happened.
both did?
Yeah.
What happened with those cases?
We dismissed that.
Why?
All we did was pull hair and smack each other. That was it. I don't think we deserved to get a record over that. So.
And why did you dismiss it?
I have 3 children, Your Honor. It's very hard for me to go to court all the time with 3 children.
How old are your children?
7, 2, and 1-year-old.
Where is their father?
Mr. Wilfredo Wilaraza is incarcerated, and the other father I'm not with.
When I see the damage for the taillight only, please.
Can I have the pictures of the
How
other?
many children do you have?
I have 1. I have the pictures of the other damage.
I'm not interested in the other damage.
Okay.
I have a feeling that both of you ladies deserve each other. You had no business being at her housing complex after this kind of incident. So whatever happened to you, you deserved. Do you understand? I mean, I'd like to throw you out entirely because it sounds to me as if you both behaved badly. But I find no excuse for you kicking her blinker.
Your Honor, I was trying to move away.
No, baloney. Full of baloney. Moving away. Then you move away. Move away and kick is something else.
She tried to hit me, Your Honor.
Listen to me. Move away. Walk to someplace safe when you have your baby in your
with my
hand.
son.
Yeah,
and
I
my
know.
foot hit her
I
blinker.
understand. Believe me, madam. I understand.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Get out of here. Parts is $101. Body labor, $195.20. That you'll pay for yourself. Ridiculous. A, whatever you did to each other in that parking lot, you did to each other. Whether you started to pull her hair or she started to pull your hair, both acted like idiots. My problem is that after this altercation, you went to her house.
I didn't go to her house.
To her apartment complex. And that was stupid.
It was.
So if your car got damaged going to her apartment complex, you pay for it. You pay for your own stupidity. But I find that you had absolutely no reason to kick her car. I also find that this is an inflated estimate of repair. So I'm going to give you the cost of the parts, which is $101.26. You paid to have it